There is a familiar hum and a rattle and a buzz as you sit in your stand, work, walk in various parts of your ship, the Fire Drake. There are a number of there are a few crew members who are walking around. Luna, you can see in the cockpit, Matchstick is with you, or Ginger is with you, and he is very kind of studiously checking flight paths and checking coordinates and making sure that the ship is running okay. You can hear a lot of busyness coming from the newly installed galley kitchen, as you can hear Sid working his magic, creating all sorts of cakes and biscuits. And the engine room is humming, Levi. Everything seems relatively okay. The power draw isn't too gnarly, and now that the galley's been installed, the efficiency of the heat sinks and the kind of the energy redistribution of the ship is looking good. Last time we were there, the ship installed some more. You installed afterburners, didn't you? Or was that something that was scheduled for the next stop?
It was the targeting system.
Was it the targeting system? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's right. And you, because you recently dropped off Darian, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At a Space Bucky's.
Yeah. You dropped Darian off at the Space Bucky's, and got some upgrades installed. You also you installed like a personal training module in the ship, which is a place where you as characters can go in your downtime to just kind of take a bit of self-improvement, read some Rest is Resistance, do some yoga, go over your notes, and help you mechanically increase your XP as a character. But for the group of you, as you leave behind the Space Buckies where you drop off Darian, you're thinking about some of the recent information you received. And correct me if I'm wrong, you have been sent so far to investigate a signal, almost like a transponder signal that has reappeared in the system that wasn't there earlier, and no one is really sure why that is. It's an old signal, and it has ties to some interesting mystic discoveries that Sibylla was. Were you studying it, Sib?
I think my family was studying it.
Your family was studying it.
Yeah. So I know about it based on what they know about it.
Yeah, excellent. Levi, you have found yourself in an unwilling kind of service to the Pirate Queen of the Cove, the Banshee. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but Luna definitely noticed that the hegemony's imperial interest in this signal and this artifact carried the signature and the sign-off of your father. Have you named your father? It was Ken Dace, K-E-N-N, yes. Thank you. So you know that your father, being the head of kind of imperial research and development and ship construction, has expressed a very pointed interest in this same signal, which is part of the reason why the Lost Legion has encouraged that you find as much information about this as possible. Sib, you look so cute. It's great. So, is there anything else in terms of leads or ideas before we dive into the last bit of this downtime?
I think as recaps go, that's pretty much everything that we need.
Huzzah! Okay, excellent.
I mean, Sib's upset that she didn't get to say goodbye to Bert, but you know.
This, yeah, that's true. Bert was, Bert was just like, was he distraught? I think he was like strangely confused.
What?
By what was happening in the bar, and also by he wasn't aware of, I guess, his attraction to Sib until it was too late.
You guys were the
so
definition
sweet, though.
of ships in the night.
He was so sweet, and I could see how you'd be, have that connection. I mean, should we go back?
Yeah,
I mean, did you get his number at least? I mean, so it is customary to sort of like ask for some sort of a contact.
I mean, I told him the ship that we were on, but then we immediately removed the ship. So I guess he'll know if I come back.
That's true.
But it's okay. One in every port. That's what I'm trying to build.
I like it. Did you get like a little way tingle? Is that how you know?
I just kind of know, like, I just get a good vibe from them, like, they're gonna be, like, good fun.
You have to be, you gotta have a good vibe, right?
Yeah. Like, Sib's always chasing, like, a good time in every port anyway. Like, wherever she lands, she wants to have fun. So she's looking for someone to do that with all the time. She realizes that she can't always drag her crew into trouble. So, yeah.
Excellent. One thing I want to point out as well, we didn't cover this at the end of last session, but we should have, is that at the end of each session in Scum and Villainy, there is a point where you get to think about what happened in that session and mark XP accordingly. So, for instance, if there was any time you had to roll in a desperate situation, you get to mark XP in that action's attribute. So let's say you had to make a desperate scramble roll. Even if you succeeded or failed, you would get to mark 1 XP in the prowess line. If you used that attribute more than once, then you can mark 2 XP in that line. But there's also some things in terms of if you addressed a tough challenge with speed or flair, if you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background, or if you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Now, if you believe that your character has achieved any of those kind of XP points, you get to mark XP in those respective places. For those last 3, they deal a lot with your character, so you get to mark that in your playbook XP line.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that Sib had anything terribly stressful apart from the stress that she received from drinking a cocktail. but I did use my magic a couple of times, so I'm gonna put a point in resolve for a tune.
Absolutely, right on. Now, when you fill up that line, that excuse me, that line in your attribute line, once that gets full, you get to choose another point to mark for any of the sub skills.
Cool.
Right on. Also, I believe, let me just double check. I believe the ship gets crew XP. So, would we say that you executed a successful job that opposed the hegemonic dominance? Or would we say that you contended with challenges above your current station? Would we say that you bolstered your crew's reputation or developed a new one? Or would we say that you expressed the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
Whoa.
For each of
this
those
just got
things,
very deep.
yeah, we get to mark XP. So not only are you trying to track XP in terms of how your character grows, but also the ship, the crew itself, grows as well.
I mean, we went into a bar fight, came out victorious. Banff.
So that would have bolstered
our reputation. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. You definitely got some rep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Nice. The goals, drives, inner conflict are a central nature of the crew. There was some great conversations with Sid and Matchstick about what the ship needed or what the crew needed. So I'd say you get to do another one of those.
Okay.
Excellent. Cool. Now, see, I would say that the job to get to the cove, get the information, and get out was a successful job. And does it oppose the hegemonic dominance? I believe it does.
Okay.
Excellent.
Dang. So we got 3 crew XP.
Yeah.
Winning.
It's rewarding for playing RP. Okay, I like this game. It rewards
Yeah.
us for being idiots. This is great.
Absolutely.
It's a good setup.
And the wonderful thing about it is on the character sheets, like those XP, the RP points are general enough that you don't have to feel conscripted to, like, you know, was I a paladin and did I do enough smites? Because the answer is no, of course not, never enough. So this is more along the lines of if you only focused on the XP points that you were trying to get, you would still have so much room to roleplay, which I think is really, really great. Cool. Excellent. So while this is happening, there is a moment where Matchstick is currently in the helm, doing his thing. I assume, Luna, are you there? I just placed your token there on the map. I don't want to assume you're there. You might be somewhere else.
I'm there. I'm totally there.
Yeah, sweet.
Me and Orbot.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. There's a point where Matchstick kind of sits back in his chair and turns to you, and he's like, "Hey, boss, you want to check this out?" And he points to a like a little ping on your long range scanners. He's like, that looks like something heading our way. I'm not sure what the signature of it is. It doesn't match anything. Definitely heading for us though.
Yep. Okay.
And there, you can see that there's like, it looks like they're sending a message. Looks like they want to get in touch. You want us to open up comms, or what do you want to do?
And just to clarify, opening up comms doesn't have the potential to like onboard a virus at all. Is this radio communications, or am I opening an email? Okay, radio, sweet.
Radio communications.
Yes. I want to hear what they're saying.
I mean, that was like
yes.
Yeah. If you, I mean, if you,
Luna's 100% like, you know, pushing buttons and allowing it to be heard.
Okay, so there is a where is it? Oh yeah, sweet. There's a message that pops up on the screen, and you see an image of a gentleman in looks like, I mean, he's in a flight suit, and from what you gather, it looks as though he's a singular pilot in a one person kind of starfighter. It's not like a helm or a bridge of a larger starship.
Yeah.
And he pops up and he's just like, oh, I didn't think that would work. You see he's like, he doesn't like misses his hair back up, and he comes back and he's like, okay, this is a stick up. We got your signal and we're gonna track you down, and if you don't hand over everything, you're gonna be in big trouble. He's
and
like,
at this point in time, Radar's
put on like angry glasses, like he's put on like goggles, and he's like,
And at this point in time, Radar's only picking up his one ship.
Yep.
I think Luna's gonna like open comms and be like, "Who's we?"
Jimmy's just like, we're from the Dernek gang, and we control this sector, so look out. So you better hand over all your stuff. The Dernek gang, they are a faction that exists.
Okay. Are we at all?
You have no connection to the Dernek gang?
Yeah, sweet. No connection. Have heard of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take it they're not as big as the Lost Legion.
No, they're a bunch of your classic, like they're basically like a bunch of kind of thugs and criminals, and they're very, I guess the term is ethnocentric.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very gentle term.
Yeah, they're very humans first kind of vibe.
Sorry,
not down with
Luna,
that.
real quick, while you're having this conversation with this guy,
I think Luna up in the cockpit's just being like, you can try. Cool. Yep.
Sure. Okay.
have you slowed down at all?
Yeah, I think. Is there anything you want?
Oh, you're talking. Oh.
Yeah.
You're talking.
Luna's like,
you're talking to Levi.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, because
is there?
Yeah, he's like.
Luna's like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, he's like,
what is it?
You don't
Where
know
is it?
where
What's
you
your
are.
end game?
Yeah, we run these lanes, so you need to give us all your stuff, otherwise we're gonna mess you up pretty bad.
I don't think all of our stuff's gonna fit in your little ship.
What's going on here, Luna? Vic comes in with his tea. What's going on?
This guy's trying to hold us up.
Cheers, mate. How you doing?
We're just having a little chit
Hey,
chat.
look, the Dernek gang. Hey, you in the back. The Dernek gang runs these lanes, and you better convince your pilot that you need to give us your stuff, or things are gonna get real nasty.
Vic, I don't think all of our stuff's gonna fit in his ship. He's gonna have a massive problem.
You're gonna have to just take our ship, probably, is what's gonna come down to, I think, right? I mean,
take the whole ship.
have you considered the
can't have
hijack?
Yeah, actually, yeah. You need to give me your shit.
Luna's gonna turn to Vic and be like, well, that ain't happening, buddy. So,
Sorry, pal.
Jimmy's like, well, look. I mean, you asked for it, I guess.
Not really. This was your idea.
There wasn't really an ultimate. It wasn't like give us your ship or else, or it wasn't like blah 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 or blah blah blah. It was just like, hi, here I am. I'm coming on over. In which case,
is there a counter offer of any sort of counter offer at all to this deal?
Oh, in terms of like us counter offering,
Yeah,
look at his. Do you think he has anything we want? Like,
what do you have?
yeah. Did you give a name? He has angry glasses.
Yeah, he's got
they're pretty cool.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got-
I don't know. I could do some angry glasses.
Have you guys slowed down at all? Like, are we still traveling the same pace? Okay,
There we
so
go.
yep, Sibby's not there because things are normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Is his,
Wait,
hang on a second. In my head, his ship is smaller than ours. Is that the case?
you could try and scan for it.
Okay, I would like to scan for it. At this point in time,
sure.
we've got one ship, and in my head, it's smaller than ours. It's important information. If he's larger than our ship, we will take evasive maneuvers. But at this point in time, I'm picturing like a little fighter.
I do love the idea of
One
like
guy?
a little fighter.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
Yeah.
is this just like, is the equivalent that we're like,
Yeah.
say like a medium-sized cruise ship, and he's just like a little dinghy, or
Yeah.
or
We're
or
racing through
is he
the
significantly
sky,
larger? Yeah, 100%.
and he's having to like trail behind us just to keep up to have the conversation. Because like if he
Yeah.
gets too far out of like
He is
signal
pretty
range-
convincing, to be honest. He's very
Yeah.
convincing. I think he came in
Those
hot.
ang-
It was
those
it's a
those
good
angry
delivery.
glasses are
The angry
Did
glasses.
he
Yes.
come in? Oh, okay, Vic, you did miss the moment where he had to put on the glasses because he didn't think we'd
Oh,
open the
dude, you
comms.
forgot the
You-
glasses
you,
right out.
You missed it. He was not ready. He was not
Okay.
ready.
Well, we can
Uh,
provide some feedback when we're done with this whole thing to help you out with your next, hijacking.
I think we should honestly.
Yeah.
That is that
You
our
see him-
counter offer, Vic?
the whole time you're having
Training.
this conversation, you see him. He's like kind of not sure what's going on, and you watch him like try to subtly like. Okay, look. If you don't power
Is this your
down
first time
right
doing
now-
this?
No.
Are
I
you
do this
sure?
I do this all the time.
You're
This
doing
is
great.
what we
You're
do.
doing great, pal. You're doing great. Go ahead. What's the line you're gonna deliver?
If you don't power down right now, then we will board your ship and take over.
But I
Yeah.
come back to the same question I asked before. Who's we? I'm just looking at you.
It's just one guy.
How big
He's
is
like-
how
he's
how
like-
big is his ship?
He his ship does eventually appear, kind of up
Yeah.
around beside you. I'll put it on the map here. It's
Map.
and you see him kind of like you can see him out of the window, like the actual cockpit now.
Oh, we're alongside now. That's good
Oh,
then.
that's a
Mhm.
cute little
Yeah,
ship.
Yeah. And there's a point
Okay.
where he's just
I
like,
see.
yeah,
I see.
yeah. So you better watch out, or I have some super high tech weaponry here, and it'll cause a lot of damage.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. What do you think we should do, Luna? Should we
Well,
raise
I'm
the
sorry.
alarm, or
Oh yeah, we should have. Well,
is it worth bothering anybody else
I
about?
kind of wasn't thinking it really was, but we
Yeah.
probably should at some point get someone to man some
Yeah, I'll
weapons.
put him. I'll put him there.
Luna's
So
gonna
he's-
just flick a few buttons. Shipwide alarm.
Yeah.
I'm guessing not like we're not like code black levels.
It's not like a red alert.
It's
more
sort of like
a-
it's yeah. We're sort of at we're in like amber level.
Yeah.
We've got an
Amber.
Amber alert.
It's a-
Well,
it's a-
maybe not an amber alert,
level.
but it's in that
Yeah.
it's in that shade
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
is
Um,
this guy a child?
It's sunset color.
Yeah, actually, how old is this guy?
Well, look, you're looking at maybe someone around Matchstick's age.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's an Amber alert.
Yeah, young pup. I mean, you got to hand it to this guy. He's got guts. He's got tenacity.
Yeah,
He's almost.
I'm getting the vibe, Doc, that this is his first job.
Mhm. Let's try to at least make it a good experience for him.
We're not gonna roll over easy.
No.
but he hasn't even offered us our lives, actually.
That's true.
He just said he wants the ship. I'm not sure where we're supposed to go after.
Let's just not crush his
Um,
dreams of scoundrelism, okay? Because he's.
Are you saying all of this like on mic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
So like as this is happening, Levi just like wanders up from the engine bay and leans in, going,
Hang on. Hold
I've
on a
just
second.
seen the power levels shift. Do I need to go and get in the
Okay. So
cockpit?
we've hit amber alert level in the ship. People will assumably go and man weapon stations, which I am pretty confident we installed. And we also installed the one moment.
You've got particle cannons and the coherence.
and we have the targeting computer now. So yeah, long range scanner, targeting computer, particle cannons, and a coherence cannon. Yeah, I'm kind of like.
Should we weapons lock this guy?
I'll laugh. I will laugh. I mean, I won't laugh. Actually, I'll be furious. Luna will be furious if this guy actually hits us. But
Buddy, let me give you a quick piece of advice. You don't want to piss off our pilot, so talk nice. Be careful. Choose your words very carefully.
Have you target locked onto him?
Should we target lock this guy?
Or are you just
Yeah.
manning the guns?
I guess Sibby walks up and goes, have we scanned him to see what weaponry he even has?
Boom. Great idea. Why didn't we think of that? Sib, thank you. The voice of rationalism here.
Oh, no, I assumed earlier when I asked about his ship that I would be given all the information that we've scanned his ship. What's he got?
Yeah, he is. So he's in a it's like a class 1.5 starfighter. You know what I mean? Like it's entry level. It has some like particle cannons on it. Like if he gets a shot through the shields, like it's going to damage the ship. Absolutely. At a quick glance, Luna, he is faster and more maneuverable than the Fire Drake. Like the Fire Drake is.
Gotcha.
The Fire Drake
that's
can do what it does, but this thing is designed to be quick. Yeah, you like. This ship is not the only threat. Is this ship's speed and maneuverability? You know what I mean? There's while you've been talking, you've seen this guy kind of get more and more like frustrated or unsure of what he's supposed to do. You see him glance over to his notes every now and then.
Tell him that he could totally win a race, and that we volunteered willingly to race him, and then when he heads off, we'll just go in a different direction. She whispers the rest of it, to try not to have that on the mic or whatever. She's like, let him have the win, I guess.
So while you guys have been having this discussion, Levi's just shifted. And he's gone to the coherence cannon.
Technical break. One moment, sorry, team.
And you guys standing in the cockpit just hear the tone lock of the coherence cannon taking aim.
There we go.
I'm like, I don't think we need it, Levi. But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, sweet.
And Levi's like, I have other things to worry about. If you are going to fuck with the energy capacity of the engines that I am keeping running, which, let me reiterate, is the only thing keeping all of us alive, then we're going to look for the fastest solution out of here.
Fine.
So if Wee Man over there thinks that his ship can stand up to the coherence cannon, then let's test it.
I'm going to turn back to the monitor. Friend, you might want to think twice about your whole approach here. We have a very ornery mechanic who has a bit of a itchy trigger finger. We don't want to totally, destroy you. And we don't want to discourage you from, trying again. I mean, this kind of seems like you're just getting started in this sort of line of work. And I don't know, I'm pulling for you, man. But right now is not a good time. So
he can probably see the lock too, right?
Yeah. As you're chatting to him, and Levi locks on the coherence cannon, you see the color just drain from his face as he sees a little notification come up, and then he's like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
I mean, well then,
Hey, we'll see you next time. All right, you did great. A good dry run. I would say
Levi
B
cuts over
minus,
the
C plus, kind of zone.
Levi cuts over the mic and says, "We just got a new targeting system installed, buddy. You want to see how it runs on the move? Because I got time."
I think you want to say no.
There is, he looks suitably terrified by what he's just seen, and but you've been around enough quote unquote loose cannons before that there is this is on the knife edge now of him either running or doing something stupid.
Okay. Can I do something stupid? Maybe
absolutely
I
you can
try to do something stupid.
Try
I
to do
want
something
to.
stupid, for sure.
I want to reach out almost through the monitor where I can see his control panel and try and make the way touch the shield button, so it just drops his shields, like
Sure.
while he's watching his cluster panel. Like it just, you know. And
Sure.
I'm like, oh,
Make a-
buddy.
Yeah, make a okay, so this is going to be an attune roll. This is going to be pretty this is
I imagine it'll be hard, but
this is
like,
this is pretty wild, yeah.
yeah.
I'd say if anything, because you're trying, I'm going to say this is a
Like
this is
I could
probably-
maybe I could convince him to hit his own shield button. Like it's his hand rather than.
Okay, yeah. So I'll say this is you're in a risky position.
Yeah.
But if you succeed, his shields will drop. And if not, if you fail, he is going to panic, and will probably either try to attack you or do, he'll panic and lash out.
Okay. All right.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm rolling a tune.
Attune,
right?
yes.
Yes. Can I like push myself to get an extra D6 as well? Like, because I'm really straining through space here.
You can push. I mean, you've also got gambits.
That's true. We have gambits. But
yeah, if you want to take 2 stress, add a dice to it, for sure.
Yes. Sure. I mean, I'm looking at Luna. I know Luna doesn't want her ship, like, broken at all. And I'm like, just trying to, as Levi says, resolve the situation quickly, but hopefully without this guy dying is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Did anybody think that I should be putting a gambit, one of our few ship gambits, on this? Is it important enough, or do we save them?
I don't think you're gonna need it. I believe in your powers of success.
Okay. All right. I have 3d6. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 6 and a 4 and a 3. So.
6. Yeah, 6 is the higher.
Yeah.
You didn't spend a gambit, did you?
No, I didn't spend a gambit, but I did
Sweet.
push myself to get the third one. So
No, that's fine. So you get to add a gambit to the ship.
Nice.
And there's you again open your awareness out, and you can see various kind of interconnectedness, and you find his presence in the ship, and you're not keenly aware, but you're aware of the panels around him, and you feel like you could maybe try and mess with the system, or you could probably get him to nudge his hand onto the shield switch.
Yeah, like I look kind of down using sort of his eyes, and I see that the notepad that he's got all of his instructions on is actually really close to it. So I just nudge his hand, which pushes the notepad up, which smacks the switch and turns it off.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. So he's like kind of holding his pad in one hand, and you see he like looks down, and he's like and like there's like red lights in his cockpit, and you're from your scan, Luna, you see that his shields go down, and he's
I'm like, I lean over and I'm like, "Are you sure you want to play that game, buddy?"
and he's like, "Oh yeah, wait, no, wait." He's like, "Oh," starts absolutely like freaking out in his ship, trying to get the shields back up.
I'm like, "You're faster, right?" My advice would be run.
You see, there's a moment where he's like, "You haven't heard the last of us," and like hits the button and cancels the feed, and you see his ship like power up and take off, and like, it's like, fuck, his ship was fast.
That was close, you guys. That was really close. I mean, that guy almost died. We almost totally obliterated that guy.
That's a shame. Anyway, now that we're back on track, Luna, can I borrow you down in the engine bay for just a minute? I'm sure Matchstick can keep us driving in a straight line. That's a level of competence we can expect from him, right?
You're muted. Oh no, Emily's still muted and frozen. Oh no, what have we done?
No!
Dun, dun, dun.
Muted and frozen. Somebody screen capture that. Oh, that was a good look.
Ah.
That was such a good look.
There she is. Hey.
And she's back.
I trip on down to the. That was me just like disappearing from the cockpit feed and heading down to the engine bay.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah,
Obviously.
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 Go down.
Listen, there's an extra piece of business that we need to talk about. From the Banshee, she kind of gave us an extra. Yeah, look, she kind of gave us an extra job to deal with the. I mean, you know what she's like. She didn't say it, but the implication was very clear that this job needed to be complete before we come back. And I know you like visiting her, so it was on the way. All I'm saying is this should be part of the thinking for like the path that we take. Just saying.
So just a little detour?
Probably. I'm not super sure what the job is, if I'm honest. Look, she gave me a tracking device. This is what I know. She said that she needed me to repair it. I repaired it. Then the note that I got from her was that it was only the first half, and this is tracking something. You now have all of the information that I have.
She's sneaky like that. Okay, so what you're saying is we can't go back until we complete the job, and we're headed in the right direction anyway?
I mean, broadly the right direction.
How far out is it?
Thanks, Scott.
It doesn't look too far out of our way. I'm just saying, like, obviously we need to investigate this thing, but I'm just saying that this is another thing that should also be part of the planning.
It is the signal. The signal is coming from the planet Indri in the Iota system. Indri is well known as a very industrialized, mechanical kind of mechanized, factory-like planet. The signal you got from the Lost Legion, that is in the Breck system, which is the next step past the Iota system. So Indri is in the Iota system, and actually, if we just bring up the Procyon sector map.
Mm-hmm.
So you are currently in the Rin system, heading away from the Cove. The signal that Levi has is in Indri in the Iota system, and you have to pass through the Iota system to get to the jump gate to the Breck system.
So look, it is literally on the way.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. If we could...
I figured in and out, 20 minutes. Easy as.
Easy.
Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe don't tell Sid that, because he never believes us when we tell us 20 minutes.
Fair.
In fairness, he hasn't been wrong yet. So.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sure.
Maybe we aren't very good at picking how long a thing's going to take. But like, it's on the way. It's fine. It'll be fine.
We get it done. Short amount of time.
Yeah.
Doesn't throw us off.
But
I'm really fond of the Rusty Bucket. I need to be able to go back there.
When I say that you have all of the information that I have, I'm not kidding. This is literally all of the information I have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Job done. Yeah, you here you go. And I give her the coordinates that we're tracking towards. You can go pilot my ship for me now.
Sweet. I'll take the coordinates away. Hand them to Matchstick.
Mhm.
Figure out the best way of, point A, B, C, etc.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, excellent.
Do I pass the other two on my way up at all? Like, are you guys, Vic and Sybil, still in the cockpit or no?
So like, it's amazing that someone would just sort of come at us like that. What goes on in someone's brain? Like, what is that, Sib?
I don't know, but it was kind of fun.
It was
He was
fun.
by himself.
Well, presumably. I mean, poor guy. Really, right? It's lonely
but
out
if he
there in
is-
space.
Him and what army?
Well,
Not a decision I think I would have made.
I mean, if
woke
he
up this morning.
is
It's
a
true.
Durnick, then I guess that army. So it's probably good we didn't blow him up.
Yeah, totally. I mean, now he will be able to tell all of his friends how cool we were, how understanding we
Mhm.
were. Sort
Yeah.
of like the vibe that we were giving off, which was very chill, very confident, very much like, don't mess with us because we really don't want to be messed with.
I also think it was probably his first job, and
Yeah, that too.
yeah, yeah.
Look, I think he learned some really important lessons.
Yes.
Yeah. Things like wear your angry goggles when you open you got to be ready. You got to be
Yeah.
ready to
Uh-huh.
go as soon as it begins. You can't
know
just-
what you're
you
gonna
can't just
say when you pick up the phone.
Know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Maybe you've practiced beforehand. Maybe you've
Mhm.
read over your lines.
God, we should have given him notes. We really should have given him notes.
We could
Do
call
we
him
have
back. No, we should not call him back.
Probably shouldn't.
Luna, no. Luna, no.
Like,
we
probably
no.
shouldn't reveal yourself to someone who can kind of use that information against you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
that
but
one
I'm all
too.
about
Yeah.
mentoring. Like, if we can mentor people to make good decisions and sort of like
Did we
help.
get his name?
Was it Oscar?
No.
I don't remember.
Oh,
That was the
That's
other guy.
sad.
That was
Oscar
last
works.
week. That was last
Yeah.
week. Oh yeah.
it would have been. It would have been
Oscar.
nice to be able to
Oscar.
meet him later and be like, "Hey, remember
Remember
us?"
that time?
Oh,
yeah.
That you, and then we,
Oh.
and then we had a good gun, and
I will
Yeah.
you
never
showed us
forget
your
those
guns,
glasses,
and
right?
we showed you our guns. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The glasses.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
yeah.
gonna see him again one
Signature,
day.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he'll be in charge of a bigger ship and actually have an army. I'll be so proud if that happens.
Mhm. Yeah. It's fun to
I
watch
don't
him
think
grow
I'll be-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we're in someone else's ship, then I'll be proud. I think if we're still in
Oh.
baby, I'll be less enthused.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get better goggles. Who knows? Also, the
Kinda
Banshee
like them.
gave Levi half a job, so we're just gonna
Okay,
factor
wait,
that
what?
into the.
Hang on, what?
That's
Everyone knows that you don't want to be locked into a job with the Banshee.
We do not want to be locked in a job with the Banshee.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, that's
Well,
not a person I want to owe.
I wasn't there, right?
Okay.
I was drinking
okay.
cocktails with.
I was.
Sybil.
Oh, I was there. Shit, I was there. What do I remember?
Yeah.
I,
Vic
I
And
was
that's the only
there.
information we got.
I don't
Oh,
really remember what
Vic.
happened.
You were there. You were there. One
Oh,
of
I
us
had to
was-
go.
and it was not
I
us.
apologize.
Why
I
did you leave
apologize.
him alone?
I had to go cut a guy's arm off. As I mentioned before, there were some medical,
Yeah,
emergencies.
yeah.
So I'm just trying to do my
Uh-huh.
part to make the world a better place. I have no idea what's going on between Levi and, an
So that
intergalactic
explains-
crime lord. You know what I mean? Like,
That
Who
explains
knows?
the supplies then that landed in the
yeah.
cargo hold.
Yeah. So maybe it was a
Yeah.
good deal. Look,
Okay.
Levi has a good head on his shoulders. He understands what's at stake. He
Yeah.
is sober of mind and consciousness and is
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dialed in with team sort of objectives. So I'm sure
never
it was
met a more
I'm
straight-laced dude.
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was all for the
Right.
right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I trust
him
Levi
completely.
with my life.
Yeah. Trust him with the ship ish. My ship. Baby. No, but just to really don't fully understand it. But we'll just pop off and
Should
make
we
it
have a
happen
team meeting?
on the way.
Should we have maybe a
Or-
team meeting would be good.
Ooh,
Guys, do you think a team meeting? Do you want to do a team meeting? We could It's been a little while.
we-
It's been a little
Yeah,
while.
you
At
see,
this-
yeah.
at this
Matchstick-
point,
Matchstick
Luna's-
turns-
yeah.
Sorry, go.
Luna's just making sure like all the other alarms are flicked off, and then maybe there's like a little one for a ship
Team meeting
call.
alarm.
I don't know. The whole crew needs to attend. Sid
No,
could
that's
be
fine.
there.
Matchstick is
Yeah.
like, yeah, boss, we're coming up to the jump gate to the IOTA system. So, do you want me to take care of that while you have the meeting, or do you want to?
Matchstick has handled these before, yeah.
Oh
This is
yeah,
a
yeah.
Matchstick first
Like
time.
jump, the jump gate
yeah.
is literally like
Yeah.
you just punch in your like code,
Yeah.
and it.
Luna's gonna Luna like puts a hand on Matchstick's shoulder and shakes it and goes, "I trust you with baby," and then leaves.
Matchstick,
Sweet.
I will take good notes. I promise you that I will record the minutes as the secretary of the team conclave, and I will
Thanks,
post
Vic.
them on the in the new galley,
The
bulletin
yeah.
board in the new
On
galley.
the bulletin board, yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
we have a
yeah,
bulletin
great.
board.
That's good.
We're
Yeah,
really
we got a
moving up in the
bulletin
world.
board now. I think I got your I saw the note you had. I took one of the little tags for the yoga
Mhm.
class.
Oh yeah,
Um,
call me. Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, as you all head out, Luna, you give Matchstick the okay, and just as you're leaving, you glance back and you see Matchstick kind of realize that you're kind of letting him pilot the ship to the jump gate. And he's like, and you see him like, okay, yeah, go here. He's starting to like go through the notes of like, do this, put this here, blah blah blah. He's like going through a mental checklist. Like he's like, you do trust that he's got this, but you know.
He's
Yeah,
very
he's-
meticulous in his approach to things. It seems like.
Oh yeah. Like he doesn't. If he had a physical notepad, it would be huge. You know what I mean? It would be the
Checklists
I
upon
like-
checklists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he's not the type to like put his feet up on the thing and be like, finally in charge.
Mhm.
He's like the
Yeah.
type to be like, they let me be in charge and
Yeah.
I'm going to not screw this up. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
This is why we hired him.
Yeah. Like,
I like
and
that.
to be fair, like he's one of our best crew members. I would be willing to say maybe, just maybe, we talk about a raise. I mean, he is stepping up. He's taking more responsibility. You know,
true.
like he's a good
He is
guy.
a-
We want to
needs fair
retaining-
compensation. Yeah.
retaining
I mean, he
people
really-
is very important. We all know this. You know, like bringing new people
Yeah.
in, recruiting is a pain in the ass. Then you have to train them. Like he's good. Matchstick is good. I'm just saying a raise.
I mean,
Have
Sid
we-
is
have we
on
looked at the ship?
3%, and Matchstick really is only on 1% still. So you know.
I would be willing to say we should vote on it. Well, let's get to the meeting first.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, cool. So you head up to the galley. Just as you're getting in, Luna, you get a little personal message just saying that there is a you have received it's an email notification in your quarters. Like you don't have to do it now, but
Okay.
fine.
Hate emails.
You all right?
Yeah. Luna takes a seat. I'm assuming we have like a nice bench seats table situation going on. in the galley now.
Yeah. The galley. Pardon
Yeah.
me. The galley has like a proper kind of like dining table.
Yeah.
That you can sit.
We've got a mess hall now.
And a bulletin board. We have a bulletin board in the dining hall as well.
This is true. You do have a bulletin board.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is
Levi.
is it just the yoga note on there at the moment? Like because the galley is
yeah,
so
it's
new.
so new. It's so new. It's just the yoga announcement.
Yeah, there's a yoga note. There is there's a not a petition, but like a piece of paper with like meal requests
Oh.
from
Oh,
Sid.
nice.
There's also a small piece of cardboard that says Luna smells.
Well,
It's the same piece of cardboard with Levi scratched out.
yes.
Sweet. Yeah.
As Levi like stumbles in, he heads over to the fridge, and you see Tavi just like jump off his shoulder and leap into the fridge and start like nibbling on some of the raw meat in there.
Instantly,
Well,
Sid is
sorry.
just like, what is happening? What is going on? Hey, come on. If you wanted the meat, just say so. Don't contaminate the experiments.
The I'm sorry, I said the experiments?
Yes, I'm trying to create a like a fermentation. It's like what you would have like yogurt, but it's like
With meat. You are trying to ferment meat.
No, not with meat. No.
Ooh.
No, but the meat is next to it. Move. But I mean, if Tavi wants some meat, he can have some meat, of course. Just let me know, and I will get some.
Okay. What's the meeting for? Why are we here?
Well, Levi, we just learned that we have I don't know, what would you call a side job?
Yeah.
That is
exactly
largely a result of some sort of a side deal that you maybe did or did not make with an intergalactic crime lord. And I'm, for one, super excited about it and slightly aroused, but also concerned that this could get us into trouble. And I just want to make sure we go into this with eyes open. So please tell us what's up.
Well, Vic, you've been cooking your brain with hallucinogens for literally as long as we've known you. Most of our jobs come from intergalactic crime lords of some flavor. There are communities in which we are considered intergalactic crime lords.
Really?
And if you know where we're going, yeah, and you know who gave us the job, yeah, then you know as much about this job as I do. Except, potentially, I know what happens if we don't do the job, which is we're never allowed back to that port of call again.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, no, I'm aware of that.
Then you know everything I know.
What is the device?
That's it. It's a tracker. It's tracking the signal to something. I don't know what the something is. The job is go to the signal, retrieve whatever the signal is on,
There
bring
it
it back.
is. Okay, so we're supposed to pick something up at the end of said signal. Okay. We've done this kind of thing before. This is not outside our ken. I think we can handle this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can.
I agree.
Definitely
Meeting
can.
done? We done? Can I go back to the
Well,
engine
no,
room now?
there is one other item that I would like to make sure that we cover before we adjourn this meeting. Now, we have had some side conversations about a potential raise for Matchstick. Now, I would be willing to say that Matchstick has risen to the occasion of co-pilot, has taken on extra responsibilities above and beyond their job description. I don't know if you've reviewed their position description lately, but they're doing a great job. And, they're at 1%. Luna just let us know earlier, 1% of the cut? I think they deserve
Vic,
more.
Sid, obviously this conversation is considered private and confidential, and we would ask that you wouldn't speak about this outside of the room.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sid's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Here, have some cookies, and he puts like a plate of cookies down.
Sorry, just so we're absolutely clear. At what point did you guys shift away from the original agreement for the crew, which was equal shares? Because I certainly haven't gotten any extra the last time we've been divvying things up. And if you guys have gotten extra, then we all need to have a very serious and intense conversation very quickly.
Well, it's just that we used to have like 100 people, and so 1% was just kind of the thing. But we haven't changed it.
Where would you put 100 people in this ship?
Lost all of those people
How
that we
many
used to
imaginary
work
friends
with.
do you have, Sid?
We don't actually pay any of them anymore, so
This
we
is a much
probably
bigger
could
ship
all
than I
have-
initially thought.
No, it's the ones that we left behind when we had to run that time, when we had to leave in a hurry. So I
That's
think
true.
the percentages as a whole need readdressing.
They're all
It's-
doing well as far as I'm aware.
It's
Maybe we should
equal
review
share.
the charter. We should
Nobody
review the
should
charter.
be doing better than anybody else.
Could we
This
bring
is
up the charter?
definition of egalitarianism. The ship takes 3 shares because that needs maintenance. Fuel's not free, nor are all of the consumables. But that is literally the thing keeping us alive here
Anyway,
in the vacuum.
I think you can probably
while you're in the
craft-
midst of this discussion, you feel the ship kind of it would come out the other end of the jump gate, and there's that slight kind of
Sweet.
as the engines readjust.
Ginger did well.
Yeah, everything's like it was smooth as butter. But you get a message over the comms from Matchstick just being like, boss, you should come see this.
And head up.
Before
like, I'll let
everybody
Yep.
leaves, just this And she like pulls out the symbol that like, you know. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but this symbol was part of the reason that I had to run from my family away.
Because of a symbol. Okay. What does the symbol mean, Sib? Do you have any insights?
Not really. My family was kind of studying it, and then some crazy stuff happened to me, and like I can feel the way now. It got kind of weird back home without giving a whole lot of detail. You know, it got kind of weird, and I had to get out. So
How did that make you feel, Sib? How did that make you feel?
Like escaping.
Yeah. Having to run, you know, from your family. Like, what was that like?
You know, some of my family I was really happy to leave behind, and some of them I miss pretty much every day. But I really didn't want to do what they were wanting me to do, and they weren't really listening to me and what I wanted, so I just thought it was best we put distance in. But it looks like the symbol's kind of following me.
Really?
Well, it just sort of keeps appearing, and it did it again.
Okay.
I'm sure this means something, right?
And also, I went to talk to Hicks about it, and he was really weird about it, and he said that I couldn't see him for like a couple of days.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I asked him about it, and he like freaked out, and he was like, I think it's best we don't see each other for a couple of days. He's never said that to me before, so
It's a cop
I
out.
think that, yeah, I just kind of wanted you guys to know that like I have some kind of weird connection with the symbol or whatever, and I didn't want to withhold that just in case it comes up later, you know?
Appreciate that. Do you think that it has any sort of connection to this whole job that we're on? Not the side quest thing, which I'm totally into, by the way, Levi, now that you've explained it, but the other thing?
My family's been researching this a really long time, and we still aren't even really sure what this symbol refers to exactly, if it's a place or a person or an artifact. But what we did figure out is it was trouble, power in a big way. And I don't know any more than that, but I don't think it's gonna be good, just so you know.
Okay. Well, it's good for all of us to be on the same page. So
Yeah.
I just felt like Levi was saying everything he knew and I wasn't, so yeah.
Okay.
Luna, is there anything that you want to get off your chest, or
I was
now
just
might
about
be
to
a
say,
great time?
I'm pretty sure I've said everything I know.
Yeah.
Well, at that,
I mean, the only thing that I will add to the discussion is that we've got some pretty beautiful fungal spores growing throughout the walls of the ship, so it's cool. Nothing really to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. This meeting
how big we took
has been
not
great.
in now, like not in the oxygen system, filtration, air vents.
I'm sort of mapping the distribution, you know, casually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casual data collection, but it's groovy. You know, it's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Great.
Love that.
So we're good on the raise for Matchstick. Yeah. Are we gonna vote on this, or?
There's no raises.
I think. Yeah. No. I think we.
Everybody gets the same.
I think we need to. What? I don't think a raise is what's in the cards, but I think we do need to sit down and just make sure that everyone's being paid equally. Okay. And I will give them pass on some good feedback.
Well, you are the treasurer of the steering committee of the ship, so you know, if you could let us know what things look like next time we meet, I think that'd be a good action item to follow up on.
Write it down, baby.
Yeah.
It's in the notes. Yeah.
How many roles
by this
have
point,
you made up?
By this point, Luna's standing
people on this
and
group?
is like half leaning on the not in an intimidating way, but in that way where someone's like getting ready to go and just like, are we done? How about? Are we?
One more thing.
You know, you need to do like the thigh slap and like the whip.
Yeah.
Stand up.
This
I
has been
move that
fun.
we adjourn this meeting. Is there a second?
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Well, we need a
Yay!
second. I mean, Roberto's rules of order. We need a second. Anyone?
Sounds like Sybil. Sybil just.
I
just
We have a
Second.
second. All in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye.
Levi just
Aye.
leaves.
Okay, that was good. That was good. That was good.
Thank you,
And like as
Vic,
he's
for,
storming down the hall back towards the engine room, you just hear him muttering to himself, like, what if you want to be important, if you want to be like noticed and you want people to pay attention to you, how about you do something useful instead of making up terms for like people's jobs that they're not doing any jobs? It doesn't make any goddamn difference. Why is he like this? What is going on? Does he want people to be more injured so he can be a doctor more often? Like, what is going on? Just blah, 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 blah.
Orbot's gonna follow me out. I'm gonna head to. I can't pull that email up anywhere else on the ship. Like I don't have like a little tablet. I can just be like boop boop.
You
Gotta go
can
to my
if you want.
quarters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Can I on my way up just boop boop? And I can read this second email.
Yeah, you open up the email, and it basically just pops up a small message. And there is a email from. Let me just quickly double check the factions. It's another message from the Starless Veil, from Darian.
Oh, love that man.
And all it is a screenshot from a. It looks like an interception of some kind of message. And there's a lot of code, and there is a line that there is a line that just says like it's a series of letters and numbers, and then it as a code you recognize as
access code.
The Imperium. And then
is the noise Luna makes. Yep.
Yeah, and then there is a note that says coherence cannon signal confirmed, coordinates intercepted.
Oh
Fuck.
no. We used
Okay,
it.
so I sprint to the cockpit. Yeah. Yeah, she's going yell.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've jump gated. We've jumped
Yeah, so
away.
you're now in the Iota system. The Iota system is a series of planets. It's a binary star system. There are two large kind of asteroid belts. The planet Indri, where the side quest was taking you, is a very industrial planet that kind of sits in kind of one of the, or just to the outside of one of the asteroid belts.
Okay. That email, did it come through before or after we jumped?
It was before.
Okay. Would I know if they'd tracked us through the jump? Will they have our previous location's coordinates and we've now vanished into space somewhere?
Previous, I'd say.
Sweet.
Yep.
And then they don't know where we are necessarily. I still want to take some form of
You're-
evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, you're not.
but-
You're not sure.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
But in terms of the Fire Drake,
Yep.
I am going to start a 12-point clock.
Ugh.
Okay.
So certain actions you take in the ship will that may reveal your presence or your or like digital signatures for things like the coherence cannon, which is a very secretive piece of technology. You're pretty sure, like, obviously as soon as you boosted with the Fire Drake, your father's been following you.
Yeah.
So So anything you do that might give you a little bit of heat based on the ship will progress that
Yeah.
clock.
Okay.
Mhm. So we'll say it's at 1.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will let. I'm gonna ping Levi, and can I send him a message?
Of course you can.
I'll
Yeah.
send him a message.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm still heading to the cockpit. And it's just gonna like old man's onto us. Yeah, and I'll head
Okay.
to the cockpit.
Yeah, I send her one back, going, cool, I'll get Tavi to start working on a new scrambler code for us.
Sweet.
Cool.
I don't
Cool.
really want to worry the crew any further with something that may or may not prove to be a problem
Mm-hmm.
at this point.
Yes.
Fair.
Yep. I'm gonna
Cool.
head to the cockpit.
Yep.
Sit in my chair. Orbot's gonna roll up alongside me, and then unfurl into a robotic cat that then jumps up onto the back of the pilot's seat and then curls around the headrest.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. When you arrive at the cockpit, there is Matchstick is bringing up a like a kind of a it's not a long range scan, but a scan. You can see in the distance, you can see a flotilla of ships.
Cool.
And Matchstick basically says, looks like we got some kind of blockade. There's they haven't hailed us yet. I don't know if they've popped our signal, but it looks like they're, from the looks of things, it's your classic kind of like border control search kind of thing. If they scan us and search us, they're gonna know who we are. We could try and bluff our way past, or if you want to fly around them, like they don't, we can get a
Fly
around them.
Fly around him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. And so you are going to have to make a helm roll for me.
Sweet.
It's a controlled situation.
Cool. Okay. Six. And a 4 and 2 3s.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So you will be able to maneuver and avoid this kind of blockade.
Sweet.
How do you do so? Like how do you describe how you fly away from them or evade?
Our ship is relatively not as nimble as the Dernic fighters, but nimble in comparison to those guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm aiming to put distance, and I'm also aiming to put like other objects in the system between us, almost as if dodging from cover to cover as while also trying not to put too much add too much distance onto our where we want to go in the first place. And I'm gonna say that Luna does it fairly coolly.
Right on.
Pretty calm.
Yep.
Not slick, just actually locked in and focused.
Okay, right on. So you and Matchstick settle into your chairs, and you take a moment to focus in, and you see Matchstick sits at the helm, and you see him breathe in and kind of like, and the two of you like fly around, and the blockade sits in front of one of the large asteroid belts, and basically you bank like a hard right and dive into cover and try to essentially you get Matchstick to throw up like a little bit of code that will kind of obfuscate the signal for a while.
Yep.
And then once you get within range of their scanners, you manage to sneak your way through the first asteroid belt. There's a point where you can see on your scanners you're nearing one of the large. There's a large shipyard that sits in the asteroid belt, because the asteroid belt's a great way to get materials if you need your ship repaired and stuff. So they've set it up in the midst of the material. The planet Indri sits within the inner and outer asteroid belt of the Iota system. So you can head straight towards there if you want, and or if you want to stop off at the shipyard to do anything, you're free to do so. But if you just want to boost it straight to Indri, you can.
I might just quickly buzz Levi and ask if we need anything, ship-wise.
I mean, look, if we've got time and the cred, I could probably get this scrambler signal installed. But if we haven't got the money for it, then let's just push for the job. See if we can pick something up on the way. So mechanically speaking, Levi and Tavi creating a signal scrambler is like the fake transponder upgrade for the ship.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet. I think push for the job.
Yeah. Josh, can you start a 6-point clock for that transponder if you want to build it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right on. Cool. So you're just going to push straight to Indri? Fantastic. Right on. So Indri is the kind of planet that is just incredibly industrialized. Indri creates something like 25 to 30% of all manufactured goods for the entire Procyon sector, for all 4 systems. And the entire planet looks like a gas giant simply because the clouds are infused with so much smog from the factories that they just envelop the entire planet. There is like a standing kind of safety warning when you get close to Indri about the state of the air quality on the planet's surface. And so heading outdoors on the planet is not great. Anyone without proper equipment or abilities to survive in harsh environments runs the risk of gaining a level 2 harm called Indri lung, which is not great. But that's it's a classic, when you're flying in, they're like, welcome to Indri, hazard warning, Indri lung, air quality terrible. There's a main spaceport called Reeves, which is like the industrial spaceport where everyone kind of goes and picks up and drops off and things. From the signal you're looking at, Levi, it looks like the signal is it's not close to the Reeves spaceport. It's located on a different part of the planet, a fair distance from. You can try and find a place to set down near the signal if you like. I mean, Reeves is the main spaceport. It's not to say it's the only spaceport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think realistically, it wouldn't be a case of looking for a place to set down the Drake. It would be looking for a place where we can sync orbit and then send the shuttle down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so in terms of that, it'd be looking for a geosync orbit point that was as close to where this signal was as possible.
Yep.
The Drake's not built for jumping in and out of
Atmos.
So try to avoid that where possible.
Yeah, right on. Okie dokie. Well, so let's have a look at trying to figure out your approach to the job. Yeah. Let me quickly bring up the things. So, in terms of your approach, what kind of approach to the job do you want to do? So there's obviously you've got it's a retrieval job. There's assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, or transport.
I feel like there's got to be like a degree of caution involved in it because we're not 100% sure on what the retrieval is. So I think we'd be better served by walking softly.
Yeah, so something like infiltration, where you try and trespass unseen.
Yeah, I think that's where we'd start, but also carry a big stick because if the alarms go off, we can't go back empty-handed. Yeah,
for sure. Okie dokie. So now we have to think about in terms of the detail, how you'll want to go about this. So you know that you have to get down to the planet's surface. Relatively, you're going to try and get in undetected. Is there anything you think you might want to do that might give you an edge? Are there allies you want to get in touch with, or are there things that you want to try and prep beforehand or for afterwards?
Do we have any contacts here? Potentially
in the Indri system, in the Indri planet. Sorry.
And what kind of heat do we have in this system? Would be another question that I have.
Yeah, the Iota system. I mean, it's due to its nature in terms of both Indri and the shipyards. Like, there's a strong presence from the Engineers Guild of Engineers, who you're pretty friendly with. There are going to be things like gangs of like the Wreckers and maybe like Draxler's Raiders or something. Like there's always going to be people looking to bully things. In terms of your heat, you don't have that much in the system at the moment.
Oh, good. So us docking at this particular spaceport is not going to raise any red flags, it seems like.
In the main one, or just a smaller one?
Well, certainly in a smaller one.
If you want to get in unseen, I mean, if someone finds you, that's going to raise a little bit of heat. But as far as you know, you're not going to have anyone actively looking for you on this planet.
Okay. And Levi, do we have a general idea of where on the planet this transponder?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of we've got a pretty clear signal to follow. Okay. It's a fair ways outside of Reed, the main spaceport. I'm reasonably sure we'll be able to just shuttle down, get in, get out.
Are we gonna have to hire a guide?
We can keep it low impact.
A little sightseeing along the way, some history, a little bit of. I mean, it's kind of nice to get to know some of these places we visit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely what we should be doing while we're being pursued by the Imperium, is see the sights.
Well, it's important to know what we're fighting for, Levi. Always. Let's remind ourselves. We're fighting the hegemony for intergalactic freedom.
I just want to be left alone.
Oof, you picked the wrong line of heroism, my friend.
So there are a couple of notable people on Indri. There's a person by the name of Piero Locke, and Piero Locke owns kind of the largest collection of space storage. There are essentially like self-storage facilities in low orbit around the planet.
Great business model.
Yeah. One of the, like, Locke has this very, very well-known strict kind of no questions policy. If it's illegal, it's definitely being stored by Locke. You know what I mean? there is a weapons dealer on the planet known as Yuntari. They are similar to they're a Xeno, so they're a humanoid. But if you need maybe not the most legitimate weaponry, they're the person you could go to. Also, there's a local head of the Ashen Knife faction. They're just your classic criminal organization. Very much business suited, mafiosi extortion racket types. In terms of your kind of contacts, Luna, you mean you've got a contact called Yatu, who's a gang boss. They might know some things. Vic, you've got Jakev, your drug dealer. They may give you a little bit of an insight as well. And and also Levi, you've got Slice, the junkyard owner. They're again, that's the shipyards is basically just a fancy junkyard. You know what I mean?
It's pick apart, but with higher prices.
Yeah. Right, so how are we going to do this? Planning an engagement. So you're going to try and stealth in to a landing point, get to the signal, grab whatever it is, and get out. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Simple plans are the best.
Yeah.
And maybe see a few sites along the way. Just saying.
And see a few sites along the way. Yeah.
And learn some local history.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
These planets that we visit are so rich in culture, in history, and cuisine.
Try some of the street food.
Yeah. I wonder if this one's got any cool ruins. I wonder if this one's, she's off wondering things.
This one with the ruins, always looking for the ruins. That's what I like about you. That's what I like about you. Yes.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. All right. Well, gang, it is 1:30. So let's think about how we want to add to our engagement roll over the break. And then when we come back, we'll start rolling up and dive into the job, shall we?
Sounds good to me.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, folks.
Welcome back from the break. So, our crew, our daring crew of the Fire Drake, are planning their engagement roll to head down to the surface of Indri to locate what exactly the signal is for the package that needs to be retrieved for the Banshee. Are there any ways you would like to augment your roll? Currently, you have 1d6 for your engagement roll.
Ew.
Now we need to figure out how you want to augment said roll. Of course, is this reputation particularly bold or daring? You add 1 dice. If it's overly complex or contingent on many factors, we may have to take 1 away. Is the plan exposing a vulnerability of the target, or does it hit them where they're weakest?
We don't really know what the target is, right? We just know
No,
that we
that's our problem.
are here to
I feel like we-
retrieve something.
I will say,
Yeah, we-
the target
little-
technically could be the fact that you're trying to sneak in as a vulnerability, like you're trying to exploit some kind of.
Could you say that's daring? Also?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Especially going into a situation that we're unsure about, that seems rather daring.
Mm-hmm. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? And then the final option is obviously if there are any other elements you want to consider that you think might justify an extra dice.
And you mentioned that this particular location has a presence of is it the Mechanics Guild or what was the name of the Guild of Engineers?
Yeah.
So perhaps I don't know.
You're pretty friendly with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty friendly with. Levi is pretty friendly with.
Oh, this guy just taking all the credit. Talk about greasing up the ego to get through.
Yeah,
the door.
really. He's a big man. He's a big man.
Let's keep it a buck. It's the engineers hanging out with the engineers.
Fair.
They trained me. I put in the sweat.
I feel like there was some childhood stuff where Luna was around the engineers, but okay.
Yeah,
Levi.
stealing their vehicles, taking them for joyrides.
We had a good time.
It wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't the Guild of Engineers that built the Fire Drake. That was the
No, it
Imperial.
wasn't.
But the Guild of Engineers.
This was much earlier.
But yeah,
It's
the
like-
Guild.
at
Of,
like
I mean, the
10.
Guild of Engineers is the Guild of Engineers. So yes, Levi would have learned all of the tricks of the trade from them, and anyone who's dealt with any kind of ship augmentation or maintenance would have encountered someone ideally from the Guild of Engineers. You know, they've got the like the Master Builders card where they're like Guild of Engineers. But I mean, you also as a crew have black market contacts, so maybe some of your stuff wasn't from the Guild of Engineers.
I would offer that while Levi is brainstorming which of the Guild of Engineers contacts that they might leverage, Vic is looking through whatever would be analogous to the yellow pages to find out which of the guides are available potentially to take us on a bit of a journey to wherever we need to go. So he's doing maybe looking at some reviews, comparing sort of some of the comments and things. Ooh, Sib, look at this one. They do mention runes. They mention the runes.
Ooh, so good. Yeah. I think that Sib and Vic doing this, I would argue, lead some kind of legitimacy to why we might also be there. It's sort of a distraction factor because Sib and Vic genuinely are interested in this stuff. And that they would be quite genuine in their approach about what they're looking for and why they're looking for it, if that makes
I have
sense.
no qualms about being a tourist. You know, like I'm okay with that. I want to learn. I want to experience things.
I'm not sure if that helps or makes it more complicated, but I'm putting that out there. Yeah.
So is this more?
It's
is
a
this
factory world? It's not a tourist destination.
Yeah,
but it says runes right here.
So
Levi, look,
you-
it says runes. It says hot springs.
It says ruins. It also says, like you read further down, and it says, these wonderful natural hot springs and this ancient civilization will be sorely missed, as it was recently built over to accommodate the
haven't read that far.
factory, blah blah blah. Where it was built over for an industrial factory.
Yeah. We have not read that far.
Luna,
and
Luna leans over their shoulders and gets to the end of the paragraph and she goes, guys, Just taps the paper. I don't think they're
That's
don't
a
think they-
damn shame.
here
It's
anymore.
disappointing.
Um,
I
Okay.
mean, but in terms of like giving you, should you be discovered, giving you a story, a party
Yeah.
line as to
Yeah.
why you're there, like that's yep, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're looking for the hot springs. Where were the hot springs again?
At that point, Levi sort of disappears and starts like rummaging through one of his lockers, and then pulls out a whole bunch of high-vis vests and hard hats. He's like,
Classic.
"You really want a
Clipboards.
story? Here's the story. We're safety inspectors. Safety inspectors go wherever they want to go. They're allowed to go wherever they want to go. All of these identifications have the benefit of being legitimate. They're actually safety engineer IDs. We can swap the photos in and out. That's not a problem.
Sweet.
There's no
Safety.
tourist in the universe that's going to be going to the smog-encrusted industrial center of, like, what do you put this on? Throwing high.
This is great.
Yeah,
Levi, this
brilliant.
is great.
Brilliant. Excellent. Cool. I mean, we're at 4 d6. Do we want to try and push for more?
Have we got some kind of safety gear for like the polluted, smoggy planet thing?
Respirators and such.
Yeah.
Now, on your character sheets, which is another thing we can talk about, on your character sheets, you have your items and you have an option called load, and it's light, normal, or heavy. What happens is you dictate if you're going to, what kind of load you're going to have. And that gives you the option throughout this job to look into your list of items and be like, oh, we need a so-and-so. I happen to have that. And it marks off one of your points of the load. So you don't have to decide what you've got now. But in terms of like respirators and stuff, I don't think anyone has a specific
Yeah.
like respirator. You'd have to figure out how you're going to get one.
Okay. Cool.
Like you could take a spacesuit, but that's like a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Like
and
that's
would be very
bulky.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
so. Yeah,
Interesting.
just checking. I don't think anyone has anything specific that says that. Do they?
I don't.
Cool. So yeah, you would have to try and figure out how to get that.
Oh, I can rig something.
You can. That's going to take a while though.
Yeah, we probably don't have time. We don't want to stay here. We've got people looking for us everywhere, so
Yeah, we might just have to stay inside, I guess.
Or we could get the doctor to do his job. I realized
Such
the
as?
idea of working. Like, we go down there, if any of us get sick, you fix us. Isn't that the doctor's job?
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simplification of what I do. I mean, there's a little bit more to, physical well-being. It includes mental well-being. It includes, emotional well-being. Levi, I've been trying to connect with you for quite some time, and I feel like if we just spend a little bit more time together, perhaps we could kind of get past some of the angst that I'm feeling right now from you. But at your pace.
I'm
At
reasonably
your
sure
pace.
that the thing that is best for my mental health is us not spending more time together.
Fair, and that's
I think
okay.
we're just trying to say that sometimes, the best way to like not cut yourself isn't to carry a plaster, but it's to not play with the knife in the first place,
Whoa.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going to stick with that metaphor, you realize that our job is knife juggling.
No, I've never touched one.
Luna,
Sorry,
I don't know how to explain a metaphor to Sid. Can you explain what a metaphor is? Because I haven't got the patience in me.
So we've got 4 rolls. What's the decision in terms of dealing?
Sorry,
with...
Alan.
No, that's fine. that's fine.
Hurting us back.
I'm taking notes. Yeah, you can try and locate some respirators
think
once you're down there.
Yeah, I think
or-
we're gonna have to try and locate something when we're down there
sure.
because we want to move quick. So
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Are there any contacts you want to leverage to see if you can get them? As you get closer to the spot above the planet, Matchstick finds a spot where the weather direct can sit in orbit, and preliminary scans of the surface show that it is a It doesn't look like part of the manufacturing sector of various parts of the planet. It looks like there is a almost like it looks more like, as opposed to manufacturing, it looks more like kind of development. Like there's a lot of almost office blocks, not many smokestacks and like large pieces of machinery. It looks like you're entering almost like a business district.
Okay.
There are, I mean, to be fair, there are factories there, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
No, I think we just need to push the roll at this point.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right on.
Who's feeling lucky? Who wants to roll the dice?
Yeah.
Should we all roll one? I think that's what we did last time.
Yeah. There's 4d6, so everyone should probably roll. Hey, and welcome back.
Emily, there we go.
So everybody is rolling a d6.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes.
Got a 6.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Yep. All right. So far you're going to be in a controlled position when the action starts. Is it just the 1 6 out of the 4?
Yeah, I got a 4.
Yeah,
I got a 1.
You got a 1.
Ew.
Okie dokie. Cool. All right. So, as you're, so we cut to the fire direct sitting in orbit and the shuttle heading down towards the surface, and the shuttle has set down on a looks like a patch of like a spaceport that's near a collection of distribution centers. And as you're touching down and loading up, you get a message from Matchstick saying there is a facility nearby that provides like respirators and things for crews who have to travel between facilities. Cool. And it's really like it's relatively close. You could set down the shuttle pretty much next to it.
Nice.
And there is a indeed it's not a business, but you walk into looks like an office foyer, and there is a person behind a desk that you surmise you may have to talk to if you want to try and get these respirators, or if you want, you can try and purloin them some other way. But
I think Levi would just give everybody a really hard look. Just giving them to stay quiet for a second look. As he walks up, takes off his hard hat and says, sorry, health and safety inspectors here. Listen, we had some respirators, but unfortunately they got overloaded. We're wondering if we could acquire some more from you while we continue our inspections around this particular area.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. Do you have your identification?
Absolutely. And he pulls out the little wallet with the swapped out hollow icons.
Yep. Yeah, they basically bring up a little scanner and bloop, scan it, and they're like, okay. Yes, can do. And you are each of you are presented with a respirator, a small, it's just a mask that sits over the bottom of your mouth, and it's got large filters on the side that basically filter out any contaminants in the air.
Thank you very much. And Levi pulls out a clipboard from inside his overalls. Just ticks. Look, I just want to make note of the fact that you've got these supplies on hand. Obviously, this is something that you're required to do, but clearly,
yes,
everything's got to be met. We got to make sure. You know how it is. Surprise inspections. Got to make sure that everything's running smoothly. Thank you very much for your help, though. Very much appreciate that.
Yes, that's great. Yes, yep, excellent. Thank you.
You have a wonderful day.
Yes. They go back to this. So yeah, you have respirators now, which is great. following the signal, Levi, you are coming close to a the facility itself just looks like a distribution center. There are large doors on two sides of this facility, and every now and then you see a massive kind of delivery shuttle, like, and the doors, and then as another one comes out the other side.
Does it appear to be a place where individuals on foot can gain access easily?
There is looks like a side door.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the point of approach
Yeah,
for
awesome.
us. I mean,
How far off from our signal are we?
Looking at the receiver, the transponder, it's quite close.
Okay, what do you think this is going to be? Any insights, or what's your instinct tell you, Levi, on this one?
I mean, I'm playing out the safety inspectors until that particular mask gets broken. Surprise inspection, safety inspectors moving through. As long as you guys let me do the talking, because I know how to talk to people about this stuff. Health and safety is part of the game.
But what are we looking for?
If I knew, I would have told you. I feel like I covered that quite explicitly. I don't know what we're looking for. I'm assuming that whatever we're moving towards, whatever this is tracking, is attached to something.
How do we know this isn't it? And she pulls up like something from the ground and points it at you. It's like, could be, right?
Because the signal on the tracker is still over there.
Okay.
But your point is well taken, Sib. It could be anything.
Or anyone.
Sure, and you know what? We'll figure that out when we get there. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not into kidnapping. She says as she walks towards the side door.
Not into. All right.
Also, I really hate this vest and hat. It just does not match my outfit.
It doesn't.
It's really not supposed to. That's kind of the point. One of them is so that if you get hit by a vehicle, the insurance company will pay out, and the other one so they don't have to give you a closed casket funeral.
Speaking of insurance, I didn't want to bring this up now, but it seems like an opportune time. The crew has been talking about the insurance package. Just wondering if maybe at our next meeting we could delve into the contract a little bit more. Just came to mind. Let it simmer.
Sweet.
Lead on,
so
Levi.
you're currently having this conversation outside. Are you heading in? Are you heading in through the door?
Yeah.
Sure. You enter into a large distribution warehouse. This door leads into a walkway, and the walkway is has a like a large kind of steel cage on one side and above you. And through the steel cage, you see large mechanical arms picking up, shifting crates of various sizes. Delivery shuttles are moving in and out. It's it's a cacophony of mechanical industrial noise in here. And you, at a quick glance, you don't see any other people in here, but this is a walkway that was obviously designed for people to walk through. And as you're traveling through, you can see that at one end there is looks like a door into some kind of office, and then another door in the steel cage that leads to the room, the greater interior of this distribution center. Looking at your receiver, it's pointing you in the direction of the large room full of crates and boxes and machinery. But there is looks like some sort of office ahead of you as well.
Levi.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long this thing has been somewhere? Are we looking for something that's like dusty and old and is settled and been there for a long time, or something new? Do you know that?
No.
Okay.
But you guys want to see something cool? We're waiting a little while to do this. You guys want to see something cool? Come on.
Yeah. Always.
So as we're all kind of moving to like through that area with all of the boxes and bits and pieces, Levi like pulls his sleeve up, and you see Naga sort of coil up like a spring in his hand, and there's like a sync moment between Naga and the receiver, and then Levi just throws Naga up in the air, and her whole body like spreads out, much like a flying snake. And for those people who don't know what a flying snake is, I apologize for repopulating your nightmares.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you see Naga just starts like gliding through the air, like doing an aerial scan to see if the signal can be picked up. I'm like, come on,
That is
cool.
pretty damn groovy,
Cool.
man. Look at that. Look at Naga go.
Yep. And you see Naga like spiral up and then head off. As Naga does this, the door to the office opens, and you see like a gentleman in like you can see like he's got his respirator kind of loose around his neck. The air inside here is fine, but he steps out and you see him. He's wearing like like coveralls and boots, and he kind of looks out and looks up, and he's like, "What the?" And then sees a group of you, and he's like,
Cool, right? Cool, right?
Yeah, we didn't have an inspection scheduled.
Levi looks over.
Surprise.
Levi looks over, and like one of his eyes is flashing red. Pulls out his little wallet and goes, "That's kind of the point of a surprise inspection, is that it's not scheduled, bro."
You see he seems like, okay, sure. Do you need anything from me?
I mean, ideally, we'd like the current loading manifest that you've got for everything in here, so we can just double check that the labels that the aerial scan is picking up match what you've got on your paperwork. I want to be very clear. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm saying that mistakes happen. And we need to be double checking. Yeah, but we're not supposed to accuse them yet.
Yeah, but I can see hazardous chemicals over there that don't have like a proper warning on them of how you're handling them. So I'm gonna need to see the SWPs, the safe working practices of this place as well, please.
You see, there's a moment where he's just like, yeah, sure, yeah, and like. He like closes the door and you hear like a hurried like.
Are your spill kits up to date? You know.
Yeah, everything's fine. It's all up to speed. And you see me like opens the door again. Here is the manifest, and we actually just had someone. Scheduled in to handle those chemicals. We were just waiting on the handling equipment to arrive. But we can deal with that. We can deal with that now. Yep. And you see him like puts on his respirator and like goes over to a cupboard and pulls out some like heavy gloves and stuff. And he's like, I'll go deal with that now. Maybe you can check out the manifest there. And he unlocks the door out into the yard, and you see him like head out.
Sibby turns around and is like, "Who knew studying the safe working practices of the ship would actually be useful?"
Great job, Sib, or should I say, Inspector Carmela.
I love it, Inspector Carmela. That's going down. Yep.
Hey, Levi, what's happening with Naga?
You get it. Naga has located the source of the signal. It is pretty far away. It's almost at the other end of the facility. In terms of currently, Naga is just hovering above. Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing, is that like she can't hover per se, but she can like glide down quite slowly. it would
Oh,
be
yeah.
more likely that she would land on top of whatever it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I would just be using her as like a guidance beacon to
Sure.
hone in towards.
Yeah, she's currently resting atop a stack, kind of stacked shelving. But yeah, she's
so
found the
heading
location.
over.
Yeah, sweet.
Naga's
Awesome.
definitely putting off some very sensual vibes here.
Vic, I promise that I will give you a cut of everything I ever get if you never refer to my drone as sensual again.
Amazing.
I'm just wondering
From
what kind of
now
mods you've made in
Until
this.
the moment of my death, never again.
Can, like, in all seriousness, sorry, can Sebi actually grab the manifest and start studying it? Like,
Yeah, he handed you the
studying-
manifest. Yep.
yeah, studying documents and stuff is kind of Sebi's thing. So she'll be just walking and
Yeah.
like trying to find a pattern or a thing
Yeah.
that stands out or something.
Yeah. The majority of this distribution center is fully automated, so it wasn't designed for people to walk through the facility. Kind of around the edges, there's like mezzanine kind of gantry floors and stuff. So if you're traveling on the ground, you're going to have to dodge machinery that doesn't care if you're there or not.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like the high-vis vests would have some kind of near-field communication built into them. Like, I'm not saying it would be safe, but I am saying they're not quite blind. They're just moving fast.
It's not like the repair, like the rear camera, like, warning when a car reverses and lets you know.
No, exactly. What I'm saying is that these like shuttles and like delivery and transport arms are just set to go.
Yeah.
So
it's our responsibility to get out of the way.
They can't see you. Yeah, they can't. Yeah. They're not designed to see anything. They're just.
And along those lines, I'm real curious to see, sir, if you don't mind, records of any sort of workplace injuries. I'd like to know specifically how many days it's been since the last workplace injury. And
he's out. He's outside. He's
gone.
building.
He's gone down.
To go deal with those.
I'm gonna do a
chemicals.
flashback. I'm gonna use my flashback.
Oh, you're gonna use
right
a
now.
flashback?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm using my flashback, and I'm going to request that a workplace injury report be procured and provided.
Yeah, sure. That'll only take 1 stress.
Okay. It's very stressful to review these because I'm very nervous that there's going to be some sort of major injury.
Yeah. That'll cost you 1 stress. Make a some sort of resolve check.
Okay. What would you say? This is like a command, maybe, or sway?
I mean, that's probably I'd say command.
Okay. I have no boxes in that, so it's just my straight resolve die.
Alas, no. You are rolling at disadvantage, essentially.
Oh, perfect.
You roll 2D,
Okay, take
you
the
roll
lower.
2d6 and you take the lower.
Okay. That's a 1 and a 6, so I'll go with the 1.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh.
So you're asked to see it, and there is he's like, yeah, sure, yeah, okay, sure, and
He's a little squirrely.
he is quite squirrely, and he hands you a little data card that has the report on it, and according to the data card, 0 human injuries.
Does this add up, Levi?
I mean, ish. It's an automated yard. If this guy says that there's been no injuries, it is within the realms of possibility that there have been no injuries because there just aren't enough people here to have injuries. Am I saying that I believe it? No. Am I saying that I don't believe it? Also, no.
We should definitely put it in our report, though. Wink, wink.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there is very quickly, like once you're kind of looking at this data pad, Levi, you notice that this data pad that he's given you is blatantly fake.
Wait, what? Why would they fake the data? Where are they hiding, Levi?
Honestly, like, I don't know. And the question that I have is, do we need to? We just need to get whatever the Banshee sent us for and get out of here.
We're not actually inspectors. 100% I was leaning way too far into the ruse, and I completely agree with you. They're hiding something.
No, like, I get it, but like, we just need to get in and get out.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, so you're heading into the room, into the kind of the facility proper. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet picks. Okay. You kind of head in and you catch a glimpse at the gentleman who's checking on the chemicals. And it looks like he's on some sort of communicator, talking into it and kind of glancing back at you before he glances back and forth.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Yeah, are you gonna try and just get to where Naga is?
I realize this is going to run counter to what Luna's suggestion is going to be, but if we don't start none, there won't be none. Let's just do the job in front of us. Let's get there and get out. If he's calling somebody, fine, he's calling somebody. You know what he's calling for? 4 health and safety inspectors there on a surprise inspection that he's just handed a faked health and safety document to.
Right.
And as soon as we take off the high-vis and hard hats, we aren't health and safety inspectors anymore. Let's just do the job.
Okay.
So I'm going to need all of y'all to make a scramble roll for me as you try and hustle your way towards what's going on. This is a risky situation because you are trying to dodge machinery that doesn't care if you're there or not. If you've got skills or abilities that you think might help you. Remember, because of the crew, Forged in Fire, you get 1d6 to any resistance rolls. I forgot to mention that last time. So should anything untoward happen when it comes time to roll resistance, add a d6. I'm going to write that down so I remember it as well. 1d6 to resistance rolls.
I myself got a 2.
Okay.
I got a 6.
I got 2 6s.
4.
Damn.
Cool. Okay, so Vic and Luna, you are able to navigate your way through the larger kind of delivery shuttles that are coming in and coming out, and there are huge, like the large arms that are picking up crates and dropping them back down. Sib, you got a 4.
4. It's probably because she's still reading the manifest, and she's
I was
like,
going to say because you're reading the manifest, there's a point where you kind of step around a shuttle that's just leaving, but there is like a smaller kind of transport, almost like a little kiosk. It's got a couple of boxes on it that moves between the first and the next. And it's going to bump into you. It doesn't, but it does, like it hits you. It doesn't, like, it's not gonna break your leg or anything.
yeah,
But it's like a small,
hurts.
the like beep, 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 and it bumps into you. So you are gonna can you give me a resist roll, please?
Okay.
Using your
Additional d6.
Yeah.
So resist is just like what, 1d6 normally plus another one for the crew.
For however many of the marks you have in prowess. You've got 1 in scramble and 1 in skulk in that left-hand column.
Yes.
So you're rolling an extra 2.
Okay.
So you've got 3d6.
Cool. Ooh, well that's good. I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah, excellent, excellent. So, normally you would suffer 6 minus the highest die result, but because it's a 6, you do get bumped and kind of you try to get out of the way, but this thing bumps into you and you see it kind of like boom, and it like and it topples over, boom, and then one of the boxes falls over.
Yeah, I think I dropped part of the manifest and I can't go back for it because everybody's pushing me to go on, and I just seen a name that would have been really good to know what they were shipping, like, you know, just to have that information, and I just saw it and then missed what they were shipping, and I was, damn it.
Yeah, you noticed that there was some of the items were, funnily enough, had a similar name to that site of ruins that you saw on the Yelp review.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And so it drops and goes flying out,
scattering across the floor. Yeah. Levi, you there's a point where you're trying to head directly to where Naga is, and there is a point where when the small delivery crate thing bumps into Sib and falls over, as the box falls down, it slides towards one of the mechanical delivery arms, which then drops its crate that it was pulling. That crate bounces off one of the shelving units and topples towards the shelving unit you're next to, and when it crashes into it, a number of crates slide out and start falling towards you. You, my man, are going to have to give me a resistance roll as well.
And that's a prowess roll, right?
It is a prowess roll. If you succeed, you will take a little bit of harm. If you fail, this is going to be quite tough. How's it go?
Pair of 5s.
Okay. 5s is okay. 5s is all right.
Rolled 2d6, got 2 5s.
2 5s. All right. So, you kind of look up and shield yourself, and you only take like level 1 harm. It like slams into the top of you, and you can feel like the corners of a couple of the crates really like dig into your shoulder and your back. So you've like your right arm has a pretty bad sprain.
Okay,
Levi, you okay? Cool. You all right?
Look, I mean,
let me take a look at it.
Not right now. That's fine. Look, I've always been the guy who gets damaged in the workplace because I'm bigger than every other engineer. I can't help how I was built.
Yeah. So this would be recorded in like the lesser harm section of your character sheet. So it's just like when like something hits you like right behind the shoulder, and this arm is like, oh jeez. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We're also gonna have to make sure we report this for the workplace injury report. Just FYI on the way out.
We're not actually. Let's go over this again. We're not actually health and safety inspectors.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, our MO is typically to, you know, we're here to help.
Yeah, Vic is leaning in hard.
Yeah.
How much did you take before we left the ship, Vic?
The perfect amount.
You and I might dispute what perfect means.
That's for another time, Levi.
Yeah, while these two are having this conversation, Luna, you arrive at the shelving unit where Naga is. You look up and you see that Naga is at the top, and there looks like a large crate next to it. There's one of those like kind of forklift things, like independent forklifts. They're like lifts up and grabs something is there. If you want to try and bring the crate down, you're welcome to try and climb up to the crate.
I'll bring it down with the forklift.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I feel like this is just another machine to pilot, technically.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. Like you're using the machine. It's you find an operator panel that's very like rudimentary in terms of what to do, but it spins around and grabs the crate and lowers it down.
Oh, beautiful.
And the crate is the crate itself is unmarked. Looks like a pelican crate. You know what I mean? Like it's very heavy duty. It's obviously designed for, I guess, transport. And there are a couple of large latches on the side.
If I open it now, will the contents spill out, or can I like peek inside and
It's sitting upright, so yeah. If you open it, you imagine it's relatively stable.
And there's no like hazardous markings on the box or anything. Are there any markings on the box?
No, it just looks like looks like a road case. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, you're welcome to do any kind of other check if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. If I could just any form of a check that I could do, I would like to do if possible.
Yeah, you could try. I mean, you could try and like study it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while she's doing that,
This would be terrible.
can I have Naga doing the same thing with her sensor array?
Yep.
But like narratively, Naga's answers are coming just behind Luna's decision.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, well, I got a 2, so because I only have 1 in insight, and I ain't in study.
So like you look at it and you're like, yeah, this is a box. Like maybe it is full of something dangerous. Maybe it's not. You're like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also can't carry the box out, can we? Like,
No,
it's not.
no.
Yeah, cool. So, okay. I'll pop it open.
Yeah, sweet. You like
As
pop
I
it
do
open.
that, do we know what has Naga been like? No.
Just as you pop it open, Levi, you're getting like just very benign signals from Naga. It's like this is a road case. And as soon as Luna opens it, there is the classic looks like maybe steam or some sort of mist comes out of the box, and Naga's sensory system starts to fritz out and overload, and kind of Levi, you just get a bunch of static, and the Luna, you can see as the lid slides open, you see looks like a cryopod.
Okay.
And it's not a cryopod you recognize. It's covered in all sorts of weird scratches.
Oh, don't
Luna's fully gonna be like, Luna's gonna look at it and be like, please don't be a baby.
From as far away as Levi is, you just hear, back off, Luna, get away from it.
Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Is this a medical?
The group of you have gathered around now. Vic, at a quick glance, yeah, you'd say this is definitely a cryopod. It's mechanical. It is in the shape of like most cryopods you've encountered.
Okay.
There are a couple of panels on it that are activated and lighting up, but haven't displayed any messages.
I'd like to.
There are ancient runes carved all over this thing, and the symbol that you recognized from earlier is in a few places.
Yeah, she's tracing it with her hand, like looking at the scratching of it and just tracing it, and just in wonder, I guess.
Are you looking at it, or are you like actually running your hands over it?
Yeah, like I'm kind of like, I think I am. I think I'm drawn to run my hands over the symbol, and touch this thing.
Yeah. Cool. Can you give me a resolve resistance roll, please?
Sure. Okay.
As Sib is running her hands over it, there are one of the panels like lights up, and you can see Vic. You see like vital signs.
Yeah, I would like to try to gather as much data off of the info panels as possible, using maybe my doctor abilities.
Yep, go for it.
Okay.
What'd you get, Sib?
I rolled 3 dice and I got a 1 and a 2 and a 2. It's not good.
Oh, a 1, a 2, and a 2.
Not good at all.
No. The dice betrayed me, and they're going in the dice jail.
Okie dokie. So apologies. I should have outlined your position and the effects before you rolled. So this was risky because you don't know too much about this, and because it was a the kind of resist roll that you had to do, a resolve resist roll. This was something you feel a connection to the way. So there is Sib, you feel something reach out to you across the expanse of the way.
Yeah.
And normally you are the one that reaches out and finds the connections. But you feel something reach out to you and grab a hold of you. And you feel like you are caught or tethered by something. And at the moment, it feels quite malevolent. Now, I will point out, this is an opportune time for me as a GM to offer what's known as a devil's bargain.
Yep.
Which means, Sib, you can choose to succeed. You'll automatically succeed, but I am going to offer something that will have consequences for you and the crew.
Okay.
So,
Right.
the devil's bargain is you will maintain control of yourself and you'll succeed on this roll and you will recognize what it is that grabbed a hold of you. But the bargain is you will have control, but this entity will be part of you.
Ooh.
If you choose not to, if you fail this, you are going to suffer some stress and harm.
Yep. I don't think she likes the fact that somebody has tried to control her. I think her instant reaction would be to reach back and try and wrestle them for control. And I think that looks the most like kind of what you're saying with the devil's gambit. Like
Devil's bargain?
Yeah, she just sort of, devil's bargain, apologize. She throws like caution to the wind as she like pummels the way into this fight, like her own power, her own strength into it. And in doing so, because we know that her connection to the way is like she feels that empty, open, and expanse, she opens herself up while pummeling the way power in there. So
Sure.
Yeah.
So just for my clarification, this is you accepting the devil's.
She's taking it because she does. She opens herself up to power up. So
yeah, great. Oh, hi.
Hey. Hello.
As there's someone behind you.
Ah!
Okay. So you automatically succeed, Sib, and the entity that kind of reaches out and grabs a hold of you, you make yourself so expansive that your expansiveness is what breaks that hold and kind of sends whatever it was kind of fluttering back into the void. And you take a moment to gather yourself back. Out of sheer panic, you try and like reform your thoughts. And there is it feels like something like somehow a tangible weight has manifested in your chest. Like you feel like your human heart has become heavier. You're not sure what it is, but there is something there.
Okay.
You don't take any harm, and you don't suffer any ill effects in terms of what is happening with the way. But as Sib, you see Sib kind of reach her hands across. Vic, the moment you see the vital signals light up, you see signals that indicate whatever is inside. The person inside here is Xeno in origin. They are not human, and there are readings that don't make sense in terms of maybe the system's broken in terms of its timekeeping, or analysis, but whatever is inside this cryopod, which now that you see Sib like run her hands over and suddenly gasp out loud and get flung back and crash into
Hey, are you
another
okay?
crate. You see the cryopod activate and begin to hover out of the crate.
So to clarify, it's not opening. It's just hovering out of.
It's hovering out of the crate.
This is what we came here for. There's something very anomalous about this, and I'm super into it. We should get the F out of here as soon as possible. Are you okay, Sib?
And she's like picks herself up, but she sort of like has one hand on her chest, and she looks up at you, and she's
What
like,
is it?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You sure?
We just deal with it back on the ship, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to get out of here. Also, maybe don't touch that. Or maybe I should. I don't know if I should.
No, I
or
don't
I
think
shouldn't.
you should. Yeah.
she's like
catch
she's
your
like
breath.
breathing like she's like run a marathon or something. Yeah.
There,
breath,
so
it's
there's
okay.
the pod is hovering, and it looks like there are like handholds on the side to kind of guide it, drag it around where you want to go.
So before we do that,
Yes.
I'm just gonna pop open the hacking rig that I've got, and just see if I can get it to basically tether to the rig so that I can walk and it would just follow under its own power.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's very, very easy to do. You can roll for it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like if you say it's easy to do, I say okay, cool.
Like this will be a very controlled roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So
what?
it's a
Let's
hack
roll some
roll.
more dice.
Very controlled
see what
hack roll.
happens.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
2 5s and a 1. Come on, dice. Like, what's going on, here, guys?
Not the
So
worst.
you hack, you kind of make the connection, and it's a little difficult to do because there are aspects of this programming that you don't recognize.
Yeah, I feel like also it's probably going to be slightly mothballed if it's as old and archaic.
Exactly.
Some of the software is just not as up to date.
So it will tether, but you can only tether it to follow your hacking rig, and it has to be quite close to pick up the signal. But it will follow you. At this point, just as you kind of you hit the final button and the pod moves towards you and the rig, you hear a klaxon like wham, wham, all of the lighting in the room and all the machinery shuts down, and you can hear the door back by the office, the door you first entered into the building, open, and you can hear footsteps.
Allan, can I quickly shout a message out to Matchstick just to see if there's, Matchstick, is there any changed situation here? We're seeing some strange security protocols being put into place here. Anything on your end?
Yeah, let me check. I mean, yeah, it looks like I don't know, there's a couple of vans pulled up. I just assumed it was more delivery things.
Okay.
Nothing untoward. Why?
Stay tuned. We might need to make a quick departure.
Okay, I guess. All right. Cool. Anything else you wanna do? No. Looking down towards where the sound is, you catch a glimpse of a number of suited individuals, definitely not safety inspectors, walking into the room, and it looks like one of them is talking to the gentleman you spoke to earlier, who handed you the manifest, etc. And he's pointing down towards the shelving, and you see these individuals start to fan out and head towards the shelving units. Now, however you basically the situation is, something. These persons are obviously looking for you, and whether or not you want to be found is up to you. So either way, if you try and get out of here without being noticed, or if you want to try and do some kind of confrontation or whatever, you're currently in a very risky situation.
Look, I've got this thing slaved to me, but it's not fast. I can't get far away from it. I can't track a path, like I can't program a path for it.
We could try to stall them.
Yeah, you can stall. I mean, in terms of like your skills, you've got scramble, which is like to get somewhere quickly. You could also try skulk if you wanted to try and, like, this is a large facility, and most of the lighting has been either shut down or turned off. Or yeah, if you want to try and confront them, at a you know when you were flying in, the kind of details that Matchstick sent you about the planet. You know that the Ashen Knives have a pretty decent hold on this sector, and yeah, it looks like you've got some pretty dangerous mobsters entering the warehouse.
Sib, what's your read on this?
Sib's looking around to see if she can recognize any of the labels from like the manifest that she was reading, where they had particularly like flammables or particularly like loads of weapons or something like that, because she would have read some of that when she was reading it. So she's looking around her to be like, are any of those ones directly around me? Can I rip open a box, you know?
There's a box of like machinery components in the shelving unit one aisle over that you could essentially try and like between you and Levi, you could probably use those to create some kind of distraction or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I grab Levi and I kind of haul him along with me, and I'm like, this one. And she's like cracking it open, and she's like pointing at the stuff and being like, I just know, like, if we can rig this, like, it'll make explosives.
Absolutely.
And
Levi, you see essentially like a bunch of like small capacitors that you could just remote signal just to overload, and they would heat up and spark.
And we could go the other way from that, right?
So just so I'm clear, what we're trying to do here is set up a distraction.
Yeah.
We're not trying to damage them.
No, but we need it to be big and boomy and enough light for them to run there.
Yeah, I figure I can probably do something, and like, yeah, I'd be looking to like rig a daisy chain of capacitors to a like a PowerPoint that's got remote on-off capability.
Yep. You can do so. Go for it. Again, this is like small time social controlled.
Come on. I got 2 6s that time.
2 6s.
Hey!
Hell yeah. Now, because it was a controlled situation, 2 6s, you do it with increased effect. So, Levi, should you choose, you can create a distraction, but were any of them to get close, you could probably push it a little bit further to either hurt them or do some kind of structural damage if you want.
Nice.
So you've got that up your sleeve.
And then I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah. Look, we're as done as we're getting, and like I feel like the cryopod's just bobbing along behind me.
It is. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. and I'm like, okay, everybody, back, over there. Yeah. Pushing everybody back further in the shelving, I guess.
Okay, so I have a thing. I have an idea, but there's a like what I want to try and do is see if I can get to a point where I can see any of these guys that have come in. Like I want to get to that point and see what like
climb the shelving, maybe.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to climb with the cryopod behind me.
Yeah. There is a you could head to the other end and take some take like a walkway that goes up onto like one of the little mezzanine gantry floors. Or you could like try and take a peek down some of the other aisles to see them.
Yeah. I think I just want to sort of see if I can peek down any of the aisles, because then, with your permission, GM, I want to hit a flashback. And I feel like when I was working with, like when I was being trained by the Guild of Engineers, Indri would have been one of those places where I got sent on secondment. Obviously, as like an industrial heart.
Yep.
But being part of the core infrastructure of this industrial center, obviously we'd have to interact with the gangs to a certain degree. And you know, when you're young and you're stupid, and like it's possible that, you know, I crossed paths with the gang. Maybe we had, you know, a couple nights of drinking, or a couple poker games. Maybe I won, maybe I lost, who knows? But either way, the possibility exists that I might recognize somebody and then be able to leverage that relationship.
Yeah, okay. That...
Whether that's positively or negatively remains to be seen. But
I would say this is gonna... Yeah. I'd say this was gonna cost 2 stress. There was a point when you were on secondment here in Indri where you found yourself in kind of almost like part of a crew that was kind of being interrogated by the Ashen Knives, and there were like your manager and a couple of the heads of this faction or this subsection of the Ashen Knives were discussing things. One of the members noticed you tinkering with something and showed kind of some interest in what you were doing, and basically while the kind of tense negotiation was going on, you and one of the other like junior knives were just kind of chatting, and like you established a kind of rapport.
Yeah, like not the sort of thing to lean on too heavily, but
No.
like...
But definitely someone you recognize for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. And yeah, it looks like they're much older now, but it looks like they're in this crew.
I mean, does like the... I guess from where I'm at, I wouldn't be able to tell whether or not they were in a leadership position, but
Hard to tell.
So yeah, I'm just gonna like the comms mic very quietly be like, look, I recognize one of these guys. I'd prefer not to kill him if we don't have to, but actually, Luna, can you take this? And I'll chuck her the hacking rig so that the pod's following her.
Mm-hmm.
I catch it.
Yep.
And then I'll like gesture everyone to stay back and step out to talk to this guy.
Yeah, sure. Okie dokie. So you are going to attempt some kind of resolve roll? Sure. What are the three of you doing?
Backing away from that.
Yeah. Are you trying to move quickly, or are you trying to stay...
I know I'm skulking.
Skulking? Sure.
And skulking, not scrambling.
Yep. So if you want to roll a skulk, you can. If you succeed, you won't be noticed. If you fail, they're going to notice you. Vic, Luna, are you doing anything specific? Luna, even though you have the cryopod following you, if you wanted to skulk, you can still skulk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Vic?
Yeah, I think Vic is following Sib's lead and trying to be sneaky, skulking.
Yeah. Skulking.
Shit. Hot dice. I just rolled a 6.
Oh,
Okay, nice.
I could do with your dice.
Yeah.
I rolled a
You can always
5.
push.
Okay.
Push.
Yeah, you can exactly. You can always push to add another d6 if you want.
Oh yeah. I will.
Yeah,
I will
pushing
push.
take 2 stress to push.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh no. Okie dokie. So, Levi, you step out and confront this this member of the Ashen Knives, and as you do, you hear your crew. The cryopod actually bumps into something, and you can hear like a number of things. Oh wow, Jules, that's okay. You hear like some crates fall. The Ashen Knife in front of you looks at you for a moment and recognizes you because of your team's attempt to skulk. A couple of them failed, so it's gonna change your position for whatever role you do.
Been a while. Let's see, we're both looking a little worse for wear. How you holding up?
He looks at you for a moment and he's like, hey, aren't you the
I was the guy with the. Do you remember the drone that I was building? Looked kind of like a snake, but without its skin on. Yeah, it looks like a snake now.
Yeah. That was a while ago.
You were having difficulty with the sights on your blaster at the time. I showed you the.
Yes, I was. Hey, I do remember that. What are you doing here? What the hell? We got. Have you got the safety vis stuff on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. We got a phone call from our guy saying people have been snooping around the facility. What are you doing here?
I mean, look, I didn't realize it was your facility per se, but obviously things have changed. You know, life has developed a little bit since last we spoke. Previously, I was nestled very, very closely in the bosom of the Imperium. Now, yeah, not so much anymore as it goes, and kind of here on work, actually.
Cool.
So
okay. Make your roll for me. Is this going to be some sort of prowess roll or a resolve roll? Sorry, this is probably resolve.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a resolve roll.
Okie dokie. This is a risky position, because it would have been controlled, apart from the fact that he has heard noises from elsewhere. So he's like, okay, there's more than one. So it's not quite desperate.
Come on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna push.
Okay. Take a couple stress. You push.
Because a 3 and a 2 ain't gonna get it done.
Oh no!
Oh, here we go.
There we go. That's better. Okay. So out of the 3 dice rolled, I got 1 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. The crew gets an extra gambit. So now I think you're sitting on 4 gambits.
Yeah.
There is a point where you see him. He's like, oh, well, look, hey, just so you know, okay, if your company sends you out here to do any more of these surprise inspections, right?
When he says that, I sort of like remember that I'm wearing the hive. I'm like, oh no, I see where we've gotten our wires crossed. No, I'm not health and safety. You know how like you do protection rackets?
Yep.
I'm kind of doing the thing that you protect people from. Now I say that because the thing that we're taking wasn't on a manifest, wasn't marked, was put up out of the way, didn't have any of your clan sign on it. So, far as I can tell, far as your paperwork can tell, this thing didn't exist for you. So this is me apologizing for stepping into your territory with the friends that I brought with me. I do apologize. But what we got sent to pick up I don't think y'all even knew it was here. There's certainly no record of you knowing it was here.
You see him, he's like, okay, right. Gotcha. Well, look, I mean, I'm not the boss here, so let's head over to where your crew is, so when the boys eventually find them, we can kind of talk this out.
Yeah, so I'll jump on comms and be like, okay, so we've got a little bit of leverage here, guy. Like, we've got a bit of access here. Please don't shoot anybody, Luna. And then I'll start, like, I'll get them to come forward so we're all closer to the exit. I'll bring them out. Don't worry about it. They'll come out with clear hands.
Should we? I mean, we've got this crazy pod with the symbol on it. I don't like, like Sibby would be wanting to protect that pod from everyone.
Yeah, let's get this thing to the ship ASAP.
I mean, we got to get it to the exit one way or the other, right?
Like,
if
was there no
closer to the exit?
back door back here or whatever?
There is. But to get to that back door, you would have to cross over another one of those open expanses where the delivery shuttles are.
Yeah. Okay.
Eventually, Levi arrives with this member of the Ashen Knives, and there are a couple of others who turn up as well, and they're like, "What's going on?" And you see another individual who has, has some rings, very fine suit. His hair is very neat. And he has a very well manicured little kind of goatee. And he looks around and he says, I have reason to believe that we have come to some sort of intersection of my company's operations and your company's operations. Am I reading this correctly? And the gentleman you were with, Levi, who you know, like you see him, he's like he looks a little bit nervous, but everything seems relatively,
Yeah, I think I'd be giving him the very slightly raised eyebrow look, and if he gave me the little nod, I'd be like, okay, cool. So this guy's the boss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I just be like, look, we got sent here as I guess facilitators for the Banshee. Here on her orders. I don't want to step on your toes any harder than I have to, but my options are I take that back to the Banshee, or I don't leave here. I'd prefer to take it back to the Banshee. I don't think any of us really want to get that scrappy today. We can call this a professional misunderstanding. Maybe shake hands. Maybe I owe you a favor at some point. But I don't really want to go the other route. Do you?
You see him, he's like, you bring up a good point. Very clever. The last thing any of us want is to be on the wrong side of the Banshee's temper. Here's what we're going to do. We will overlook this indiscretion from your company. Obviously, the Ashen Knives would appreciate it if the Maelstrom were to let us know that this was happening. We could have facilitated something much more streamlined than this. So we will allow you to take your package and head on out of here. We won't interfere, anyways. But be sure that we will get in touch with the Banshee just to make sure this doesn't happen again.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate your understanding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, from one businessman to another. I'm sure you understand.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Excellent. Very well. And you see, he kind of gives a signal, and they turn and head head back towards the exit. And unless there's anything else you want to do here now, we can jump straight to being in the shuttle or being up on the ship.
Shuttle jump.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
That's
on.
out.
Cool. So you get to, you are back on the ship. You arrive out of the shuttle. Luna, the pod is following you, and you can see Tony, the third crew member, a very short, squat, kind of scowly faced man who looks up at you, and he's like, "The heck is that? What is it?"
I don't know, but it better not be a baby.
Look at that thing. It's like 6 feet long. That's not a baby, unless it was a big baby.
Big baby.
Could be 8. Could be 8 babies.
You see, like, Matchstick is like, 8 babies? Why are we doing this?
Before anybody jumps to conclusions, let's get it to the, I was gonna say med bay, guys. Just another plug. Let's be talking about that in our next meeting. The need for a med bay, but let's get this thing plugged into some of the scanners. Let's make sure whatever's inside of here has life support systems that are working. We'll monitor it. Let's get some security. Nobody touch this thing, okay? Sib, are you okay? I saw what happened. Is everything
She's
cool?
really like zony. Like she's just like, yeah, no,
You
yeah, probably shouldn't touch it, really. But I'm pretty sure it's okay.
Okay.
Something alive in there. Definitely alive.
Well, let's keep it
She's
that
like
way.
very-
And let's.
So here's the thing, Vic. We've already watched one of our crew take an absolute gainer off it, get blown back like they got hit by a grenade. My vote, now that we're out in space, is that I take it out the airlock and attach it to the outside. So then whatever's in there can be sealed, and it can't touch any of us.
No, this must be looked after, protected. You
It's
can't
as
just
protected as it's going to get. Look,
And
Vic,
perhaps
can you
we
look
could
after
try to
Sid
gather
and go
some
do like a
information.
concussion protocol or something? with
Let me
Sid?
interrupt you for a
'Cause
minute, Levi. I think I agree here with Sib. We need to keep an eye on this thing and maybe better understand what it is before we go about making any big decisions on what to do with it.
I'm not saying throw it away. I'm saying have it somewhere where it's
Yeah,
less likely to do anything bad to us.
Oh, it won't.
There you have it.
Again, concussion protocol.
Sib,
I'm concerned.
follow my finger. Follow my finger. Just follow it. Follow it. Close your left eye.
Like, follows your finger for a minute and then sort of says, no. Do you have a connection to the way that I don't know about? And she's looking at Levi, like, with her eyebrow raised.
No, but I do have a connection
Then
to
I
health and
think
safety
you'll be
requirements.
fine. Unless you can actually connect to this thing, I don't think you can. It's only me. I wouldn't worry about it.
I agree with Sib on this
Like
one.
at the moment, the pod is just there. It's just hovering.
Let's keep an eye on it. And let's keep an eye on each other.
Put it in Vic's quarters, see if I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you get onto the ship.
We put it in Vic's quarters.
You put it in Vic's quarters. Yeah, sure. I mean,
I did not think this through all the way, but I'm cool with it. I'm cool. It's all good. It's all good.
I like
do
that we
need
just-
a med bay.
We just take the suggestion literally. And
Levi just wants to go up being like, y'all are the dumbest people I know, but like, hey, look, it's not in my engine bay or anywhere near it. I don't care.
Sib,
so,
one thing,
yeah,
Sib.
yeah.
Look, I saw what happened back there, and I know that this is something very special. I'm a little concerned about what this is. I don't think any of us really understand the ramifications of what we just brought on board the ship here. But will you do me one
Sorry.
favor?
Who?
Will you do me one favor, Sib?
Who? She just keeps trying to say, like, you know, every time somebody's like,
Who?
what this thing is, I'm just like, who?
Okay, point taken. Just promise me one thing, please, Sib, that you won't be alone with it. If you want to study it, maybe just, you know, ask me to hang out. I'll stay out of the way. I just, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
She sort of grabs you on the arm and she's like, it is your room. I wouldn't go in without permission.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate your candor.
But she says, I am going to need you to do something for me because I can't touch it.
Name it. What do you need?
And she like goes rushing off to her room and comes back out with like basically like charcoal and like paper and is like, could you make me a rubbing? I just feel like the runes and I could study them and figure out more about what it means.
Absolutely. Now just make sure, watch and monitor this as I touch this thing. If anything weird happens to me, you know, weirder than normal.
I'll pull you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vic,
Okay.
Yeah.
There's, as you're kind of having this conversation, Vic, you feel a massive presence behind you, and you turn and you see Sid.
Oh, Sid!
He's kind of
Hey.
lumbering over you, and he's like, why don't I? I could do it if you want me to. If you don't want to touch it.
No, I mean, just as long as y'all are here in case something happens to me. Look, the last thing we need, Sid, and I fully appreciate your willingness to step up. I don't know if this has anything to do with your upcoming performance review, but I will say this. The last thing we need on board this ship is for our cook, for our chef
Thank you.
to fall to some sort of terrible
Yeah, you're right.
consequence, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but what if what happens when the medic falls?
Look, as long as there's mac and cheese, I think the crew will be happy, and I know Luna will be happy.
All right. Okay.
I will do the rubbing.
Yeah, you're gonna take the rubbing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You chuck the paper down and the charcoal, and it's like, it just feels like stone. You know. You just do the rubbing, and you're fine.
Well, there you go, Sib. Looks pretty good. I don't know. First time I've ever done that. It's kind of
And
fun.
she like thanks you for that because like, you know, obviously her family used to do old school as capture techniques as well as new school scanning techniques, but it's something that she's like always kind of done as part of like researching. It's nothing like hands-on. Yeah, I think she takes that and goes back to her room.
Sid's gonna sit down on his bunk and just stare at this thing and be like, well, I guess it's just you and me. Little awkward in here. I know it's kind of
like,
a small
look over
space.
and you look over and Sid is still there, and he's like, I am still here.
Sid, do you mind?
What is Vic? What is the plan?
Well, I was gonna ask, do you mind just kind of hanging out for a little bit?
Sure.
Appreciate that. You want to play cards?
Okay.
Okay. I just don't know if I want to be alone with this thing quite yet.
Sure. Okay. So we're in a period of relative downtime. Because some of y'all have taken some stress. Also, Emily, is there anything Luna specifically wants to do just before we jump into this next bit for the last few minutes? You are muted if you are talking. Oh no! You cannot unmute.
Again.
Yeah.
All good.
she's been having some.
Curse you, technology.
I think Luna's sort of shot up to the cabin to the cockpit to make sure that we're shifting as fast as we can to the next point. She'll be up there with matchstick, plotting the path, plotting the pathing. Say that 5 times fast. And
Are you going to drop this back to the Banshee now, or are you going to head further on to the brick system?
I think we're probably best heading to the brick system at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like just pushing on as fast as we can. You know,
Yep.
we've got the space for it.
Yep. Yeah, sweet.
I get the sense too that there's members of this immediate crew, the leadership team, you might say, that that has an interest in perhaps learning a little bit more about this individual or individuals, the who of the what, before we deliver it to the Banshee.
Excellent. Okie dokie.
It's like the DM went, "Hey, Jules and Sibylla said not into kidnapping," and then gave them a way to kidnap a person.
Or save someone who's being
totally
kidnapped.
Fine. Or save someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to very quickly double check our consent and gaming forms to make sure we're not diving into any more of those? Just double check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do we get rid of stress?
How indeed do you get rid of stress? So, in the downtime, you can get rid of stress by either indulging or indulging in your vice, or purveying your vice, if that is a thing. So each of you has a vice on your sheet, and you can relieve stress by indulging. So you're going to roll for it, and if you overindulge, things happen.
Okay. Fun. Fun.
Let me just quickly double check. That's trauma, that's consequences. Yeah, so I will say, like, you've got a bunch of you have some stress. Yeah?
Yeah, I got like 5.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So,
You guys told me to drive my character like I stole it. I'm driving it like I stole it.
You are correct. Where is it? Where is the... pardon me one moment, caller. So, there we go, downtime. So, indulging in your vice. So you are going to make an attribute roll using your character's lowest attribute rating. And then whatever highest dice roll you roll, that's how much stress you relieve. If you roll, for instance, at the moment, yours is a Levi's. You've got 1 in resolve. So you would be rolling 1d6. Whatever you roll is how much stress you clear. If you roll a 1, you overindulge and you take stress.
Well, let's find out.
Yep.
4.
Excellent. So you're down there indulging your vice. You get to remove 4 stress.
I mean, do we want to like do we want to role play this, or is this, what do we?
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, you're relieving stress. I mean, in our previous episode, we've established one way you could relieve stress.
Well, that's the thing, is that, like, while I think while he's down in the darkness near the engine bay, he finds a corner to wedge himself in. Like, obviously he's been dealing with a lot of like stress and he's feeling really wired up. And he grabs one of the little vials that the Banshee gave him and feeds it to Naga, and then she slips up the like sleeve of his left arm and bites him, and you just see him kind of relax and nod off a little bit down there in the dark.
Yep. Nice. The rest of you all taking some downtime to...
Yes.
Yeah. Go for it.
Absolutely.
So Sibby's vice is pleasure, and
Yeah.
she would usually like indulge on that, usually away from the ship and away from things, but she has developed a wee relationship which Levi doesn't know about on the ship, with one of the like engine bay crew, and that whenever he disappears into like, and we don't know what Levi is doing, but like whenever he kind of goes rogue, goes off and goes for a nap and hides himself in a corner or whatever, she sneaks off too because she can, because she's not under watch. So like on my door, my cabin door, there's just like knock knock knock, and I'm like in the middle of studying this rubbing or whatever, and I open the door and I see her and I'm like, oh, great timing.
Yeah.
And the door, you just see see on the scene the door closes and you don't get to see what happens next.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Roll one of your let's see, you've got 2 in prowess but also 2 in insight, so you get 2 Ds.
Okay, cool. Okay, well 4 on both.
Yeah. So the highest one was 4, so you get to relieve 4 stress. Nice. Right
so
on.
I still have 1 left.
Still have 1.
That's good. That makes sense. She had a particularly stressful time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was particularly stressful. But you do manage to clear a little bit of that stress away, which is great. For Levi, in terms of your harm, you'll have to spend some time like getting Vic to look at it and kind of take care of it. But you can if you roll a d6, I believe, you can try and clear it.
I feel like for the moment, he's just gonna that's not his focus. His stress was what he was most focused on. The harm, when he wakes up from his nap, he'll reassess where he's at for it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, all it is it'll just be Vic doing a doctor check on you, basically. Yeah. Or you can do it on yourself if you like.
I mean, that was a 5, so.
Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, you're awesome. So yeah, you just kind of rest and like ice it. Cool. Awesome.
I think just narratively, it wouldn't necessarily be me icing it, but like while I'm asleep, it would be like Tavi,
yeah,
finding like a bag of frozen peas or something.
Yeah.
And just coming and letting it push up against me.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there's you can hear a brief like what the from Sid as Tavi like sneaks into the freezer and like grabs a bag of peas and down the halls. Awesome. Cool. Rightio. So as you deal with the newest procurement to the ship and the crew, Luna, you and Matchstick punch in the coordinates for the jump gate to the brick system, and just as we see the ship kind of head off into the void, Luna, there's a Matchstick kind of clandestinely brings up something on a panel, and he's like, "Hey, look, I don't know if you want to talk about this or not," and you see on the edges of your scan, you can see some ship signatures following you. But he's
okay.
Like, yeah, just so you know, they're pretty far away. Like that's the edge of our range, and that's a couple systems. So,
do they look like Imperial ships?
It's hard to tell. There are a few of them though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know, Ginger.
He's like, yeah, no problem. and then he like takes you through some. He's got some like he's been thinking about some ideas of maybe like making programs a little few things more efficient in terms of different like streamlining telemetry data, that kind of stuff. Yeah, nice. The you head off out into the expansive space. Sib, you are lying kind of somewhat content post Vice, and you're staring up at the roof of your cabin, and you drift off into a sleep. And as you close your eyes, you are met with a vision of some large creature, definitely not human, staring down at you. They have 4 spindly arms that look like they're holding you, and you, from your vantage point, you see 4 more similar looking arms reaching up, trying to grab at this figure. And the figure pushes you. You feel yourself pushed down into something, some sort of container. And as your 4 arms reach up, they push your arms down and slide some sort of covering over the top of you. And as it does, you glance past them now, just before the lid closes, and you see some sort of volcano, and the volcano is smoking, and a bolt of lightning strikes it as the side of the volcano explodes, and there is a wall of magma and rock that comes flying towards you that destroys now concrete pillars of buildings that fall close towards you. And as it looks like everything is falling towards you, the last piece of the lid shuts closed, and you go back to black. And that is the last thing you see before you wake up. But that is something we'll dive into in our next episode, as we call it there for episode 2 of our game. Well done, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
We survived another session.
You did. Because you survived, obviously, of course, now you can go and look at your XP track and see if there are times when you did anything that would warrant XP.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right away this time instead of waiting, because I did not remember as much.
Hey, you know what?
Ooh, yeah,
Neither did I. So
Good point.
right on. But that is our game. Thank you, everyone, for playing. What a wild adventure it was. I love the fact that everyone's throwing it off on weird directions. Similar to our Tales from the Loop game, I had a narrative and it's already forked off into something completely different. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. And I love it. But yeah, thank you to these wonderful people for playing this game and letting me drag you through the stars. Thank you to everyone who is watching now and in the future. Thank you so much for joining us for Scum and Villainy. It's very cool. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying these peeps, and I'm enjoying having all of y'all along for the ride. Yeah, I'm Allan Henry. I'm thoroughly strange. I do a lot of things that involve me pretending to be monsters and superheroes and cocaine-addled bears. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds in store for not only this game, but for other games coming up with Guild Superior and with some other friends of mine that's happening. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, we'll zip around the table for our last little sign-offs, and we'll go to Emily. Do you want to give it a crack? See how it goes?
Yes, I will. I'm Emily. This has been another great episode and another great game. Thank you, Allan, for running this for us. Thank you, Dave, for hosting us. I'm a narrative witch in many forms, with some intangible projects on the horizon, and I'll be sure to tell you more about those when they come up. And I will throw to Josh.
Hey guys, I'm Josh. I'm a giant geek. I've been playing Levi tonight. I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been some some exciting things happen, and I'm sure there'll be more exciting things to come. One day I'll have something cool to talk about. I promise. One day I'll have something cool to talk about. But unfortunately, today is not that day. Tomorrow's not looking great either. So I will chuck it over to Jules. Go for your life.
Thanks, Josh. I'm Jules. You can find me everywhere as Jules from NZ. If you do enjoy watching the stream and seeing what other Chaos Gremlin stuff I get up to, you can visit Fate of Eisen, who also Twitch stream live their podcast episodes, which is very fun. Or you can just, when you have a second, find us on Spotify or Podcast Addict or the podcast app of your choice, and catch up on essentially like 7 years of backstory if you've never listened before. I started off as a player and I'm now the DM of the second book. So yeah, like it's a very fun back listen, I guess, if you're bored. Yeah. Thanks for letting me be my little Chaos Gremlin self, Sibylla Crafty, who is enjoying finding out what a mystic means in this world. I'm enjoying it a lot. So, and throw it to the person who let me on here, is responsible for my chaosness, Dave.
Oh my God. It is a pleasure to be part of the chaos and just an honor to play games with you all again. Allan, thank you so much for running this game and bringing this idea to me for this game. And it's been a blast. I love the system. I love the characters more than anything. And it's very, very narratively driven. And that is, I think, where this group shines. The interconnectedness of all these storylines is really the most exciting part. So thank you for creating the play space for us. I am Dave. I have the privilege of hosting games with my friends here on Guild Superior, and it's something that I really treasure. So we're going to do a lot more of it as we continue on through these crazy times, because this is a place where we can be heroic and be optimistic and have fun amidst some of the craziness in the world. And that's important too. So make sure you take care of yourselves and you rest and you play and you have fun. We have some more fun coming on the way. I will just do one shout out to our upcoming Tuesday night next week. MJ Russell is coming back. The crew has reassembled for part 2 of our 2-shot of Call of Cthulhu Derailed. If you haven't caught the first episode of that 2-parter, it will be up on our YouTube page before the end of the weekend, so you'll be able to go check it out. Of course, all of our games are archived over on YouTube, so if you're interested in getting out and checking out like the Tales from the Loop game that we had with some of these folks, which was absolutely fantastic, go check that out as well. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid into some friends here over at the Initiative League. Thank you all for hanging out with us, and we will see you on Tuesday. Thanks a lot, everybody.